All right. Previously on the Fellguard, Season 2. Chaos unfolded at the wake of Marvian Ashford's, at the wake of Marvian Ashford, the leader of the Fellguard. Our heroes found themselves fighting against hordes of zombies and cultists as the children of Orcus attacked. During the battle, we got to see Kashar the Orc in action. One of the champions, Krausyash Phasire, was killed. He was killed because I couldn't remember his name. That's the reason. And the final blow was dealt out by Voxy with a deadly arrow shot to the final cultist. After the battle, the champions, the Breakfast Company, and Kashar regrouped. Oliver asked if people could be on the lookout for Barren, not knowing his fate during the combat. And we found Cassius, Xerxes' father, who was injured during the fight and is currently undergoing medical treatment. We also learned that Kalkorin and Takash, the guild dragon watchers, were kidnapped by the cult. Their heroes went out under Champion's orders to retrieve them, tracking their blood through the sewers. The Breakfast Company nearly were taken out by a fire trap that was left by the cultists. And it was after that we learned the cult's plan. They worship Orcus, the demon prince of the undead, and they just learned the location of a red dragon. Oliver tried to get more information out of Kalkorin through less than diplomatic means, and Kalkorin responded, his pride and honor both hurting from being forced to give up the location of the dragon, and pushed back. Tensions rose as Kalkorin snapped at Oliver, and Oliver physically picked him up, and things were only calmed down as Takash, the Dragonborn, told Oliver that the group was going to go back to the Fellguard and put together a plan to stop the cultists, who now had a pretty sizable lead on the players. And we ended our session with everyone on the way back to the Fellguard Guild Hall. And we are going to start with the group together with Zan and Sarah, with Kashar and the Breakfast Company. You are all meeting in one of the meeting rooms, one of the many meeting rooms that is in the Fellguard Guild Hall. And during this, Kalkorin has just finished explaining the situation to the other champions as well as Kashar. And as you watch, Kashar has a interested look on his face, and he immediately looks over to Zan and Sarah, the two champions of the Fellguard. Zan steps up and says, "Okay, I'll go grab some horses, and then we can leave as soon as possible." And Sarah goes, "I'm not sure if that's wise. We don't even know what we're dealing with. We could coordinate with some of the other guilds. This should be a group effort. If we run in without the plan, I think we'll lose." And you see as Zan immediately shoots down this idea, saying, "We're running out of time. We need to strike now." Kashar looks over at you all, as if to say, "What do you think?"
Look, we've already lost a good 30 minutes because those two wouldn't just give this information. They had to be in this building for some God's forsaken reason. Can we please just get the horses and get moving before anybody else gets hurt?
You see as Zan goes, "I agree."
I'm inclined to agree, but I also think we need to make some sort of action plan, Oliver.
Do you think so little of me? Do you think that I can't come up with a plan on a horse?
That's fair.
Sure.
I think we should get moving too. We're losing precious time, and we're not going to be able to keep up as it is.
You watch as Sarah says, "I just think we're making a big mistake. This is they were so methodical with their planning. I think that if we were to follow them, I think that's exactly what they want."
I'm inclined to agree.
So we know they want us to follow them. Maybe the only way to figure out what to do is to let ourselves fall into that trap. and then see what they've got planned and just be ready for anything.
Calcorin looks around and says, I'm just not sure. The trap that was sprung earlier came awfully close to killing us, and I don't know. I Kashar steps up and stands up and says, we've lost a lot of good people over the last 6 hours. I think thinking about our next choices here might be a smarter move.
Are you kidding me?
Oliver.
What? Every second that we sit here talking about it is another mile that they are getting closer to having an undead dragon.
And what if that's what they want us to do?
All right, the two of you, I need you to step outside, please. Sarah stands up and holds her hand out towards the door. We are here to discuss this in a civilized manner. We are not the enemy here. Go outside and cool off.
Stomp my way out the door.
The door kicks open as you stomp through it and you slam it shut behind you. Xeris, you get up and you walk over towards the door as well.
Yeah.
And Sarah says, I think I might have an idea, but it's not the best plan. And then we are going to cut outside. Oliver, you walk into the hallway. Pretty much deserted at this hour. It's very, very early in the morning. The sun has risen at this point. And almost all plans and things that were set to happen in the Fellguard have been put on hold, obviously. There was an attack. So you are currently by yourself until you hear footsteps behind you as Xeris approaches.
Oliver,
Xeris?
we need to talk.
Okay.
We need to talk about how you're acting both now and when we were trying to rescue them, and it seems like you're not thinking straight.
We have limited window to do something.
Yes, I understand. Trust me, I am just as angry as you are. I was about to strangle him and make him tell us what we wanted to know as well, but for some reason you did it instead of me, which baffles me at this point in time. I just think, regardless of what's happening with this situation, we need to handle how you're handling everything with us right now. You've made some rash decisions that could have cost our lives and the lives of the people we were trying to save. It's not like you to kick the door open and go in half-cocked. You're making all the decisions that I would make. I think that, and I learned from you to not make those decisions.
Maybe I was the wrong person to learn that from.
Don't say that.
Look, I know that right now you're talking about the rash decision involving the Watchers. I know that I have made some rash decisions, and I need to fix them.
Oliver, I think you need to trust in yourself, and you need to trust the fact that you know what's best, and you always have known what's best. And right now, you're focused on the wrong thing. We're here for you, Oliver. We're a team. You taught us that.
You shouldn't be.
We got to move past mistakes. We've all fucked up. Me especially. I almost betrayed all of you. Just, we learn, we grow, we move forward. And right now, I think it's your turn.
If I had stayed, if I had helped you and your parents go after these guys, maybe we wouldn't have been in this situation. I know, look, I know it's all well and good to say, hey, everybody screws up, let's fix the problem. But here's the thing is that, like, the screw ups that I did, they have consequences, and I don't want you guys to get hurt. I don't want your family to get hurt. I don't even know where Barren is.
I mean, I don't want my family to get hurt either. I don't want you to get hurt. We both want the same thing, Oliver. I think right now we just need to establish the most logical way to go about it. And throwing ourselves into a dragon's den is probably not the smartest idea. And I'm surprised that I'm saying this right now. But this is you talking through me, buddy.
Okay. Right.
Trust me, I want to go in guns blazing. I'm ready to kill anything that moves at this point. We just let's hear what they have to say. Then maybe they have another suggestion. Let's look at all of the facts and then mount up and save the day.
What if 'What if we're wrong?
Then we're going to be wrong. We have to be okay with it.
The door opens up, and you see as Kashar comes out. And he goes, "Two of you, come on inside again. I think we've got something."
Good. Let's hear it.
You walk in, and the first thing that you see is the table that you were all standing around has a bunch of papers that are laid out. Large schematics, large pages that are spread everywhere, and excitedly talking on the far end of the room is a dwarf. Oliver, give me a history check.
Okay. Uh, 13.
13. You recognize the pin that's on his lapel. It is a large gear symbol with a hammer that is going through it. You recognize this gentleman as a dwarf who is part of the Transporter Guild. And he is excitedly pointing out at these schematics and saying, "Well, I think that if we, it should work. It could work. I mean, frankly, it has to work." And Kashar says, "Mordain, why don't you start from the beginning, and let's get these two caught up." Voxy and Pepper, you look at Xerus and Oliver coming back. What's going through your heads immediately?
I'm going to try and see if I can tell based on their faces whether the conversation they just had was a positive one or a negative one, how it may have panned out.
Oliver, Xerus, do you want to give away this expression, or do you want to try to hide it?
I'm going to have the same face that I always have.
Oliver?
I don't think that I'm capable of hiding it at the moment.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I'm just open book. I think my face is reading like, resignation.
Okay.
It's like, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with a lot of things, but I'm not happy with this, and I'm here. I'm doing it.
So I'm gonna whisper to Oliver as he walks over, and I'll be like, "You good?"
Yeah, I'm fine.
Listen.
The dwarf sort of resets himself and goes, "All right. Hi. My name is Mordain Marbleforce, and I am one of the high-ranking officers of the Transporter Guild. We have some technology that we've been working on for some time now. A chance to connect the guilds together across the Dueling Serpents. We were still, I'll be honest, in the experimental phase of it, but I had an idea and figured that it might be useful, and especially after Sarah came and grabbed me earlier. The tech that we're working on, we refer to as jaunt tech. This is teleportation, so to speak, but over great distance. I believe that give me a few hours, I can set up a circle here at the Fellguard. Jaunt you over to where you need to be, leagues away, and you'll have all the time in the world to wait for this cult as they arrive. Should be about maybe 5 days or so travel to get to the other side of the Dueling Serpents, yeah? So it doesn't matter how much time is wasted now. You have time to prepare.
I like this plan.
That's really cool.
This is really
You're so
great.
talented.
Stop it. It's not all me, but I came up with the name.
I love the name.
We do need this, though. He goes and he reaches into a bag and he pulls out these wristbands. Now, these wristbands that he's got are almost like gauntlets. They fit over like almost your entire forearm, and there's all sorts of gears and clockwork and arcane crystals and glowing bits on them. And he says, we don't have a fancy name for these yet, but these guards, they will pull you back once you've been sent out by the jaunt tech. In this case, think of it like you or a fishing hook being cast out. You land where you need to go, and the wristbands are the line that reel you back.
Are we limited on time?
No, that's the thing. You can activate when you need to go back, which is good. I wouldn't recommend going back and forth, only because we're still in the experimental phase. Now, I will say we have done plenty of experiments with humanoids, and things have gone well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you call them jauntlets?
That's really good. What's your name?
No. Pepper.
All right. Pepper. I'll write that down. Give Pepper the credit for that. Jauntlets.
I'm really good at naming things.
As the guy here who enjoys taking things that look expensive, would we be worried about someone stealing these and finding their way back to the Fellguard?
Well, if they take it off your dead body, yeah. But it clasps on pretty well to the forearm if you just don't die.
Not planning on it.
Okay, good. Then keep that mindset. That's very good for you. I don't have very many. I've only got about 5.
It's enough for us, at least.
That's good. We can handle 5. So who are we sending? Sarah, Zan? Do you want to take point on this? And you see as Zan goes, don't know. We need to make sure that we have a presence here at the Fellguard as well. And Sarah says, I can go. But we're planning on going to the Barren slopes, right? And Calcorin says, "Yes. I'm terribly sorry about this, but I'm going to have to insist. I think that I need to be the 5th member if these 4 are going." I have set up a communique with Imilar, and should he make his presence known, I think I might be the only one who can talk him down. If he sees a, no offense, but a raiding party show up on his doorstep, he's going to be very, very upset.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Kashar looks over at Mordain and says, "So how long do you need?" And Mordain says, "Well, I can probably give me like 3-4 hours, and I think I can get the circle up. At least by midday, we should have it ready to go. If there's any preparations that need to be made on your end, supplies, things of that nature, now's the time to get it."
Let's get to it then.
Yep.
Sarah goes, "Okay, so Zan, you and I will stay back. We'll try what we can to build up the Fellguard again, ensure that we are handling the problems. Kashar, we could use your help as well." And Kashar says, "All right, so we know our purpose. Mordain, we'll get you set up in the training grounds. It'll be a nice open space in case there's any electrical interference or arcane sparks of things of that nature." "That's fine. That should work fine." "Good. All right, any other questions?"
Am I still permitted to use the library?
Of course you are, Oliver. You're part of the
Thank you.
Fellguard.
Okay.
All right, everyone go prepare what you need to. Meet back here at noon. And everyone sort of spreads out and decides to go their own way.
Should we all convene in the library? At least to come up with our own personal plan and then separate for a bit.
Sounds good to me.
You guys go ahead. I'll catch up in a minute.
I'm just going to give Oliver a look and then say, okay.
I'm gonna follow Xeris.
Before the champions leave.
Yeah.
Which one is the one that's the Dragonborn that used to be a champion?
So the one who used to be a champion is actually Kashar, the orc.
A half orc.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. He was the one that I asked about Barren before we left, right?
Yeah.
Kashar, just a moment.
Of course. What can I do for you, Oliver?
The man that I asked you about earlier tonight, Barren.
Yes. He's fine. I spoke with him earlier. He made it out of the mess before things really popped off. He he said he would be over in the library if you needed to speak with him. Oliver, can you hold on one second?
Yeah.
You intend on going on this journey to the Barren Slopes, yes?
I think it is logical. It's a very dangerous mission, and if anyone is going to lose their life on this mission, it should be somebody that's not important to the Fellguard like you are.
Oliver, I've been told that that you have an incredible mind for strategy. And to go into a battle knowing that you're going to die is a pretty bad way to look at it.
I don't plan on it happening, but just talking strategically. The leadership needs to not be put in that kind of danger.
Okay. I mean, you're right about that. Zan and Sarah need to be a source of strength right now for the Fellguard. He looks back over his shoulder at Sarah and Zan, who are talking to one another. And then he leans in a bit closer to you and says, I don't want us to miss an opportunity here. When you find them, make sure you show strength. Don't show weakness. You understand what I'm saying?
I think so.
After what those bastards just did to us, we need to hit back.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to hit them as hard as I can.
I know you will. He puts a hand on your shoulder and taps it. Well, the library. That's, I think, where you'll find Barren. He seems shaken, but he seems pretty in good health.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad to see you're all right.
And I'm gonna thank you. Yes, thank you.
He goes over to Sarah and Zan and chats with them a little bit and asks what's next. And Sarah says, we're going to go have a discussion with some of the other leaders of the guilds. And he says, all right, I'll escort you. And we're going to cut now to Xeris, Pepper, and Voxy. Where did the three of you go?
The library.
The library. Yeah.
Okay. So you are there amongst the books. And as you stand there, you round a corner and you see a desk. A desk that has a bunch of papers stacked on top of it, a lot of books stacked upon it as well. This is Nesh's desk. And you think back to the moments, the first time you set foot in here, where he offered you a contract that hadn't been vetted by the scribes yet. And then the second time when you spoke to him about the Order of Light. And all the work that he did with your parents, Xeris. And you just see an empty chair. Do you sit in silence or do you chat amongst each other?
I'm gonna chat. All right. I'm just gonna, that I'm the one to usually be blunt, so here it is. We got to be careful about Oliver's decision making. I think he's okay. I think he's gonna be fine, but he's clearly got other things going on with him that at this point he's not willing to let us help him with. And until that point in which he does allow us to help him, we just gotta make sure we keep him in check, and also make sure that we kind of, go about the decision making in a way that we're not used to.
Did he say something to you when you guys went outside?
He hasn't. He's barely. I've been trying to talk to him even before all this happened. There's been something up with him. I don't know.
Opened up to me.
He opened up to you?
Don't act so surprised, Voxy. I'm very easy to open up to.
No, of course. I just didn't realize that had happened.
Yeah, no, when I made him go outside with me before, everything.
Oh, that's where you guys were. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to share things that he didn't. I don't know if it was a conscious choice to share in that moment or if it just kind of all came out of him at once. But he is going through a lot. I think he feels very trapped in the situation he's in, and he's looking for control, and he's looking for, I think, atonement in a weird way.
I got that vibe as well.
But
all I know is
am
he's
worried.
making decisions like I make decisions, which is not a good thing.
Oh, Xerus, you're so much better about it now. You at least ask.
This is true.
That's fair.
Well, how do we handle him then? I don't know if just being nice to him is going to work.
I do think it's going to start with us just trusting him, because I don't think he thinks that we trust him.
Oh no, he thinks. Well, he for sure thought I hated him. I think I got through to him on that. But I don't hate him, to clarify. I do not hate him. I care for him dearly, but perhaps he needs to hear that more often.
Well, this is a good time to, now that we have some time to breathe, to regroup, to get ourselves back into team mode, I think. So let's remind him of those things. And I think you're right. We got to trust him. And but at the same time, just keep one eye open on his decision making, and maybe remind him that he has been a little risky lately, and just try and keep him reined in as much as possible.
I agree.
The door to the library opens, and Oliver steps in. He looks...
Hey guys. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to say he looks a little shaken, a little nervous, but there's a sense of stoicism and a drive now that is pushing him forward.
Um, 2 more minutes. I'll be right there, I promise. And I'm gonna go try to find Barren really quick.
Okay. The library is big. There's a lot of halls of books and aisles and stuff. And as you go wandering through them, you go empty, 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 empty. And as you are starting to pick up your pace, your footsteps echoing in the library itself on the stone floor, you turn and you see seated against the back wall is Barren.
I'm gonna walk over and just say, "May I sit down with you?"
Barren, his hands down over his knees, looks up at you and goes, "Yeah, Oliver, you okay?"
So are you?
"Yeah. So I lost you in the crowd. I couldn't find you. I just tried to get out of there."
Oh, you did the right thing. Glad you're okay.
"Yeah, sit down, please."
This is, I think it's big. And
What's happening right now?
I don't know that I'm supposed to talk about it. But I want you to know that we're gonna kill all of them. And they are not going to be able to hurt you ever again. And when it is over, I would like to rekindle our friendship. If you will have me.
I didn't know our friendship needed to be rekindled.
I'm really happy to hear that. In any case, I would like to spend more time in person once this is taken care of.
There's a show. Sorry. There's a show that's at the Meridian Theater at the end of the week. Did you want to go with me?
I'm very sorry to hear that the person you bought the other ticket for canceled. But I will.
I didn't buy any tickets yet, Oliver. Oliver, I'm asking you if you want to go on a date with me.
God, Barren, I really want to say yes.
Say yes, then.
If this is over by the end of the week, then yes. I will work incredibly hard to make sure that it is over by the end of the week.
Okay.
I know that is... I've not been entirely good at speaking in certainties the last couple of years.
Are you sure about that?
A lot of the things that I have spoken in certainty have ended up to not be correct or true. Yes.
Yes. Yes, okay.
Okay.
It's the date. I'm sure that you have a lot to do. You get ready, and I will see you at the end of the week. Let's meet outside the theater. Show starts at, I think, 7. We'll meet outside, and I'll get there early. Oliver, I'll see you then. He stands up. You stand up with him.
Am I allowed to give you a hug?
Yes. And he leans in and gives you a really, really tight hug. And you feel as, you know, when you hug somebody and they hug tight and then you hug tight and then they hug you tighter? It's that feeling.
We're going to get him, Barren.
I'll see you at the end of the week. And he goes and practically skipping down the aisle, disappears around a corner of books with one final glance in your direction.
Hey. Stride with purpose back to my party.
You all watch as Oliver arrives near the center of the library with you.
Okay, so their primary weaponry seems to have been this. What this gas? Was the gas the thing that caused the undead rising?
No, not necessarily. So the gas was what killed a lot of people. Then one of the cultists cast a spell, and you watch as black tendrils came out of them and struck the dead people that were around the hall itself, and that's what reanimated them.
And that's what I was gonna say in character until Jordan explained it to you. Because Oliver wasn't present for it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. It's Oliver.
All right. So, in that
Says
case,
Xerus very confidently.
It's Xerus in a very calm tone.
All right. If this is the case, then our primary. Was there any other? Did any of you see any other weapons being used, or was it just that they rose the dead?
That's all that I saw.
think it's really interesting. A lot of their magic they use from scrolls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which
So we're.
leads me to believe that these are not necessarily all of them are very strong magic casters. So they might have big numbers, but I think maybe a lot of them are just people with some talent and a lot of scrolls.
I mean, I saw that they just had people that are expendable because all they did was use the scroll and then perish.
True.
Yeah.
I don't think these are people that are planning on staying around. I think there's something bigger going on here.
I mean, if
Well-
it's an undead cult, they might be purposefully disposing of themselves.
Wonder if any of them are actually in contact with Orchist, or if this is just a cult in his name.
We need
I
to
know
look
the
through-
answer that I would like. I know the one that I would prefer, but I do not know if that is the case.
What was it that one in the warehouse or the attic thing? What was it that he said the guy we saved? What did he say he overheard? He said he heard him talking about Orcus. Was he just referring to the cult in his name, or was he referring to something like speaking with or going to? Like, did we get anything from that?
I understood that he was overheard them talking about
About him.
Orcus. Yes.
Okay.
We could also look for information on the symbol that we keep seeing everywhere.
Hmm.
That's got to lead us somewhere.
It's just very interesting because, the last cult that I perhaps was involved with, nobody said any names. It was a very big don't do that. So, I just wonder if they're really confident that the Prince of the Undead has their back, or they're really trying to prove something.
Honestly, my biggest fear is how many steps ahead of everyone they seem to be. And I'm going to put it out there. I know that we're excited about getting the jump on them, but part of me thinks that they're going to be still ahead of us, and we need to be prepared for that.
There's a possibility that they know that we're going to use this jaunt technology, and so they're expecting us to be there anyways.
I don't trust anyone right now.
Yeah.
They definitely had people on the inside. I think this was
There's no way they could have coordinated
someone
this.
had to have known that they replaced the entire wait staff, right? Like, that's not exactly the most subtle thing in the world.
And
Do
it's
we
the
know
fucking
who-
Fellguard, for Christ's sake.
Do we know who in the Fellguard was in charge of planning the party and the waitstaff? Because maybe they had someone on the inside at the top.
I mean,
I say in a very quiet voice, actually.
Well,
I think
if we're worried about a mole of any kind, I would say we should look at the people who walked away unscathed.
something's just come together for me. If they are using scrolls, then it stands to reason they don't have people that are inherently magical or that have magical training.
Mhm.
They also did not come ready for a fight. I don't know if that means that they're just entirely fanatical or if they are just not skilled in any particular aspect of warfare, but that's not the point. The point is that if they are not inherently magical because they are using scrolls, that means they are not making the scrolls either. They might have come from somewhere.
It is very weird because for warlocks, you just kind of get that magic. You don't get scrolls. I agree with you, Oliver. The scrolls have to come from somewhere. I don't think that Orcus is just showing up and giving them a book.
I haven't been in the city in a very long time. Are there any new businesses that deal in scrolls, in dispensing these sort of ready-to-use magical devices?
Voxy, you would know this, but
Yeah.
there haven't been any. You frequent a lot of the shops here that dispense supplies from monster hunting, right? As does the Fellguard as a way of providing them for their hunters. Hunters are more than welcome to go shop wherever they'd like, but the Fellguard has certain contracts with certain shops to provide things that they can at a cheaper cost. To your knowledge, the spell that was used on the scroll is a much higher spell than any of the other shops that in town would provide.
I don't think it came from here. Unless it was some sort of shady backdoor deal that someone would do, but
Shady
seems
backdoor
way
deal
out of the
with-
leagues.
With expensive scrolls. With really expensive things. Shady backdoor deal with really expensive things. I know a person to ask about this. All right, everyone. If this is the end of the meeting, I am going to go bother my roommate.
I guess it's the end of that meeting.
All right.
I mean, if we're done, I obviously, if anyone has anything more to say.
Let's all be thinking of ways that we can stop them from casting those spells. The one thing that we have to our advantage is that their magic is made of paper.
And we know someone who can get rid of paper in a quick, fiery way, right, Pepper?
Yeah. That's my thing.
Voxy also has silence as a spell, which is able
I
to
do have
prevent
silence,
people from
yes.
casting verbal
Also,
spells.
Yes.
I would really love if it's possible to isolate one of them. I know they really love to,
Off themselves.
die before they're taken. But if we could get one of them and hold them, I can use magic to try to get the truth out of them. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
agree.
how much a lower level person might know, but anyone we can grab to get more information from would be something, at least.
This magic, would it be able to, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, is there anyone around here that we should question on the off chance that there is a mole amongst us?
I will
I don't know.
go
It's
talk
not
to-
perfect, I don't think, but I can at least tell if they, choose to not go under the spell. So that's something if someone takes the way out to lie, potentially.
Oliver, what were you gonna say?
Jordan, is there like a section of the Fellguard that is the wizards and sorcerers of the Fellguard?
So
Like a magical
no,
subsection.
there is a guild of wizards, though. The Arcane Alliance. There's almost a huge subsection of mages who separated from the Fellguard early on, And most of the time, a lot of the like fighting styles you see are more martial than they are arcane for the Fellguard. So if you're looking for information about like wizardry and stuff, the Arcane Alliance is who you want to speak with.
Okay.
You can talk to Lucien Fierro. I write down names.
I'll do that.
I will.
Unless he died.
go-
I do not remember if he is back in that fight.
I will double check my notes. I think I might have some disappointing news for you. No, he survived. He survived.
we could talk to his.
Good for him.
Oh, good.
He is
I
to the best of my and your ability alive.
I will go. I want to go talk to Sarah and the other champions and see if they can tell me who was in charge of the party planning and who may have hired this wait staff, because I don't think we should use this catering company anymore.
They're all dead, remember?
Okay. Well,
True.
we gotta let their boss know that they won't be.
He was the
It
one
was
on the top of the
party.
pile.
To be
Right.
fair, we
Ugh.
found the wait staff that was replaced at that warehouse. So
Yeah, it was a big pile of naked
Yeah.
bodies. Remember that?
Yeah.
The food scene has never recovered since the closing of the breakfast hut.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. If they had just hired that breakfast hut staff, like this wouldn't have happened.
Honestly,
They know how to fight.
It's true.
I'm really. miss
Yeah,
that
that's true.
place.
It's like a Waffle House at 2 a.m. They're out in the
You know-
cobblestone streets, ready to throw down with any orc who passes by.
And then get you your smothered and covered.
Exactly, and it's delicious, and it's exactly what you need right that moment. Is it safe to eat? No.
It's not what we're there for.
Yes.
Listen, if you take it out of the restaurant to eat it, it's fine. It's the flying objects that you got to worry about.
All right, so everyone sort of spreads out and goes their own direction. Pepper, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
So you find Calland in the guild hall. He is still on the recovery side of things. The main hall that they are currently working on is being cleaned up. A lot of the blood, a lot of the gas is being buffeted out, and the bodies are being taken out and brought down to the medical wing of the guild hall. Calland is speaking with a couple people down there, and when he sees you, you see his face light up, and he goes, "Peppa, good to see you." And he hobbles a little bit, resting a lot of weight on his cane, and gives you a hug, a very tight, firm hug.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I was very glad to see that you were okay, and I'm even gladder to see that you have come back from wherever it was you were going.
Oh boy. I do not know what I am allowed to tell you, but I'm going to be leaving here again in a little bit
All right.
for maybe worse stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Should be fine.
Gentlemen, can you give us a minute? And the two people go, of course, and step off and go do their own thing. And Callan takes you by the shoulder and leads you over towards a statue.
I make him sit down and get off his
he
butt.
sits down on a bench, and you sit next to him, and he goes, "So you're leaving?"
You can keep secrets. I can't keep secrets from you.
You were
going to
notoriously
try.
bad at keeping secrets, yeah.
Well, don't be rude about it.
I'm your friend. It's just ribbon.
I know. They're going to try to do the raising the dead thing on a dragon.
Dear me. That is not good.
No, it is not good, Callan. But I specifically wanted to ask you. You were there. You saw how they were mostly casting from like scrolls, right? Like they weren't.
I did notice that. I found it odd.
Okay.
Spellcasters of their own merit, they tend to be a little bit more showmanship and a bit more lively, like yourself.
Yes, exactly. So I was just wondering because these were really high level spells, and they'd have to be really expensive. Do you have any idea where these could have come from? Like, who would do, like, maybe a backdoor deal on, like, really expensive spells?
Well, there's two options. Right? First option is, of course, they were bought and paid for, which would leave a paper trail. I, for one, can't imagine these folks leaving a paper trail like that, especially one that we can sniff out so easily. My thought is they might have been stolen.
Hey. So where were they stolen from? Why
there's
has nobody said anything?
There's only one place that I know of where you can get a spell scroll of that caliber. That's down south in Basin Crest.
Okay. Huh. Thank you, Callan. This was very helpful.
Of course. Now, Peppa, if you will allow me. He leans in close and says, "How you doing?"
I am fine, Callan. Thank you for asking. I did not get hit at all in that fight. Really,
No,
I
Peppa.
literally took no damage, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
How are you?
I am stressed. My friends are stressed. Everybody is stressed, and I am the one could say the comedic relief, and so I often have to, like make the joke in the room or like bring the energy back around so the vibes are not awful all of the time. And I think I am doing a very good job at that. But that is probably not great for my mental health, and maybe will catch up with me eventually. But if I can push that off for like maybe like the next 24, 48 hours, then we will be fine.
All right, well, I trust your judgment on these things.
Thank you.
If you need anything, and I do mean anything, just find me, all right?
I know. Same to you.
I have to go convince those two folk to take off 30% of what they're offering, or what I'm offering, to be fair. But you go do what you need to and go save the world.
Okay. You go steal from people.
It's all right, they're crooks too.
Oh. I love it. The rich robbing from the rich. I guess that's the best we can get in this economy, Callan.
Listen, it's baby steps, okay? Baby steps for me.
You're doing great.
You go on. He gets up, gives you a squeeze on the shoulder, and hobbles over to the other gentleman. Says, "Now what preposterous offer did you give me again?" And you see the two of them look a little shaken and start speaking. We're going to cut now over to Voxy. Voxy, you were going to go see the champions, right?
Yes.
You find them
Yes, I am.
in the main guild hall, both Sarah and Zan, and they are currently speaking with a couple of other of the wait staff and cleaning people and the knights of the guild. You can also see here at the in the hall is Thane Hollerock, a centaur who is the leader of the guild knights. He's speaking with Sarah and Zan, and as you walk up, you see Sarah looks over at you and gives you a small little beckon to come over.
So I'm gonna walk up politely.
And Thane says, we'll do our best to see if we can get this all cleaned up, but it's going to take some time. And Sarah says, that's fine. We just need to make sure that this place is cleaned up before too long. Just a couple more hours. We need to show strength in this moment. And you see as Zan looks frustrated. Rightly so. His idea for going out and doing something and chasing them down now has been shot down pretty handily by the rest of the group. Sarah says, well, if there's anything else, let me know. And Thane says, right. And he walks away. And Sarah turns to you, Voxy, and says, so, it's a difficult situation. I didn't expect to have to make so many decisions today.
I think that's kind of all we can do right now is take charge when the people who should be in charge are unable to do so.
They're dead, but yeah.
That's kind of what I meant by unable to do so. Are you all right?
I'm tired. Stayed up all night, especially after fighting. My back hurts, my legs hurt, my head hurts. I can't cry anymore. Like I want to, but nothing comes out. You,
I get
as
that.
well as anyone, knows how close the champions are, and Karlsyash was like a brother to me. And it's just having to push down that while also remaining stoic and strong is a lot.
It is a lot, but it's our job, isn't it? Be
It
the
is.
strong ones.
It is. We have to be an example.
Exactly.
How are you?
Well, for what it's worth, I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you. Your form during the fight. Somebody was listening.
I mean, you never really know until you're in the moment, right? I just kind of, yeah, it was pretty cool, right? Like
That was
I
pretty
did,
cool.
it was really good, right?
That's
was
impressive.
really exciting. Yeah, thanks. It felt really good. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine. My people are back, which is great. I'm really happy to have them all back. I mean, there's some weirdness there and a little mystery, I guess, because I'm not really sure what's going on with one of them. But that's not your problem. I'm
Is
fine.
Pepper okay?
Oh no, Pepper's fine. They're always fine.
Okay.
They're a trooper, absolute trooper, champion of troopers, really. And Xerus is good. He's got his parents, and they're okay, thank God. Oliver's just been a little weird lately. Very not Oliver. He's been very un-Oliver-ish.
I noticed that.
But I think we're gonna handle it.
I was sorry to have to send him out, but his behavior was out of line.
It was the right call. And I'm glad you did it. I don't know what got into him, but Xerus talked to him, and I think that they're gonna be all right.
Okay.
We have a plan on how to handle Oliver. Otherwise, I'm all right. I'm just ready to go. I want to just I'm ready to grab my things and get on our way.
Well,
But
it's
first I had a. Mhm.
I was gonna say it's almost that time, so if you need anything done, now's the time.
Yeah. Yes. Well, first I wanted to ask you a couple questions. Kind of, just what are we getting into? Basically. But do you know who would have been the one to handle the wait staff? Who was the one who kind of threw the party, I guess? We're curious as to who may have been the one to hire this wait staff that ended up being a whole bunch of suicide cultists.
The steward is usually in charge of hiring the wait staff. We pushed everything onto Steward Zuri.
Steward Surrey. Okay. Do you know where I can find him? Or them?
She
Whoever they are?
is
Mhm.
she was helping to do some cleaning, trying to get the
Okay.
guild hall taken care of, and I think right now she might be resting. Do you want me
Out
to...
of game. Would I know who this person is already?
You would probably know of her. So a steward is
Okay.
kind of one of the like high level like positions of
Mhm.
servant.
Mhm.
Servant is not the
Mhm.
right word, but think of it as like secretary in this
Staff.
case, staff, yeah,
Okay.
where they work
Yeah.
with the leaders of the Fellguard and ensure that menial tasks that need to be taken care of are done during the day.
Got it.
So like they're in charge of contacting people whenever they need somebody to be contacted and that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Steward Zuri was one of the ones who was in charge of working with Marvian Ashford.
Yes.
She was like his assistant basically.
Gotcha. All right. So, okay. Are they? Is she new? I can't. Is
No,
she new
she's
or is
been with
she
us.
been around for a while?
She's been with us for years.
Okay.
She's
Interesting.
was honestly Marvian's favorite. She's
Okay.
kind and gentle, but also push back whenever she knows that someone can handle it.
Mhm. Okay. Well, that crosses that off the list, I guess, right?
This list,
Okay.
is this a list of betrayers? Or potential?
Potential, I don't want to say suspects, but people that we just think could stand to answer a couple questions,
All right. I'll have her make sure that she doesn't leave the grounds outside of going back to her home, obviously. And we'll speak with her once you get back from your trip.
Great. And do you have any thoughts? Anybody you
I have
has
thoughts,
been
but
acting strange lately?
I do have thoughts. But they don't have anything to do with someone who may have betrayed the Fellguard. One of these cult members, they referred to themselves as the children of Orcus. And we have been tracking the children of Orcus for some time. We keep an eye on many of the cults around here, working with the Band of the Shattered Helm to make sure that nothing gets too big, too powerful. The children of Orcus, they have a sacrifice here, a kidnapping there, but nothing that the other guilds haven't been able to handle. For lack of a better term, they are amateur. So what we saw recently is shocking, to say the least. This was a coordinated effort from a well-armed group. And that is not how we have viewed the children before.
So they've
Stepped it
leveled
up.
up, lack of a better term.
I don't know what you mean.
And but we don't know. No, of course you wouldn't. But what could have caused or initiated this stepping up?
Step up to
Or
the
who?
streets?
Yes,
I don't know.
the cobblestone streets. Okay.
But if you are going
Any-
to have a run-in with them out in the the cold north, you can catch one of them alive. You can definitely get some answers to some questions that we have.
We're planning on it. It's kind of the game plan. So, yep. Okay.
Speaking
We will
of,
do that.
you have about 30 minutes. If you need to grab your things, grab them now, and then we'll head up
Yes.
and meet at the training grounds.
I will see you there.
All right. Foxy, do you know where I can find Pepper?
They went the direction that Callan is in.
Okay.
They went
thank
that way. Whatever. They went that way.
Thank you.
Yes.
She takes off in the direction that you pointed. Is there anything else we wanted to do before we move over to the training grounds to get ready to go?
I kind of wanted to touch base with my parents.
Sure, yeah. So down in the medical ward, you see a line of of beds, gurneys that people are lying on. There's dozens of people in here. Nurses, spellcasters and stuff, potions being handed out. And you see your mother is sitting next to your father, who is in the bed, and he is sitting up. He is eating. He looks so much better than the couple of hours previous when you saw him. He sees you, Xerus, and you see him taking a drink of coffee. Goes, Xerus, and he goes, and you see him stand up on shaky legs, and he gives you a hug when you arrive.
Hey, Dad.
You're alive. It's good to see.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of, I guess, come check on you and chat a bit before I have to head out again. So
soon.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're doing things with the Fellguard again. That's very good to see.
Yeah.
No contract though, right? This one's a freebie, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think it seems to be pretty big. So, I don't know.
Is this like Fellguard big?
It might be bigger than that. I don't know if you know anything about the children of Orcus, but that is the one hint that we have been given.
You know that symbol we found?
Yeah.
We just got word back from some of our sources down in Glen Harbor, and they, of course, confirmed what we already know, which is that it belongs to the children. And it's funny because the children of Orcus, they are, I mean, that's what they are. They're children. They are not serious people. Something's going on behind the scenes here that I don't like.
I'm under the impression that there's someone on the inside that allowed this to happen.
Someone on the inside of the Fellguard.
Someone who had access to the waitstaff, someone who had a way of getting this all coordinated. I mean, they are literally 10 steps ahead of us. They were, as we left here several hours ago to go, rescue them. They knew that was going to happen. They knew we were coming for them. They knew everything. How can they know all of this unless someone's feeding them this information?
It's a very good point. You really are my son.
I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it, but is there anyone that you would suspect, if you had to suspect someone that you could have potentially once called a friend?
The biggest issue that I see is that we had folk from all over the world here tonight, last night. There were members of every single guild in attendance, as well as hundreds of his friends. The list of suspects is very, very long.
Yeah. I guess be careful if you're going to stay around here.
Oh, you know me. I'm always I'm always careful. And Donnie sits up and goes, "Of course, dear."
All right. Well, I guess I'm off to save the world again or something.
And you're gonna do lovely. Stay safe, all right, Donnie? And
I'll
Donnie
do.
kisses you on the forehead, and Cassius coughs a bit more and then lays back on the bed and says, "I think I might just rest for a while."
Take care.
They give you a little wave and you head out of the medical ward. And we transition now over to the training ground. You can tell that the area where a lot of the martial training happens, the arrows, the swords, the spears, etc., have been all pushed over to the side. And the dirt area where a lot of the training happens has these large runes that have been carved into the dirt in large pits. And they're glowing with this arcane energy that is being funneled by these two large technological stations on either side of the circle. And there's this like humming arcane energy that is pulsating through it. And as you are approaching it, you can see that Mordain is currently working on one of the things, and as the energy grows in it, you can see this pinkish energy is starting to grow stronger and stronger. He turns and sees Will and says, "Right, okay, I've got everything we need." He goes and he grabs the 5 gauntlets, as they've been called, and starts affixing them to everybody's hand. And you can see that he's not like clasping them with like a belt loop. He's like ratcheting them down. They are designed to be like very, very tight on your arm and not slip at all. Because they're, if you slip during the process, there's a chance that you would be lost somewhere. He says, okay, so when we turn on the machine, you're going to feel a buzzing sensation. I've traveled through myself, so I know exactly what feeling you're going to get. All of your hair's going to stand up. It's going to feel like you're being stretched in every direction, while simultaneously being crushed from every direction. It's not a pleasant feeling, but it'll be over before you know it. And also, when you get out there, don't break the gauntlets, whatever you do. If you break it, we can't pull you back. Understood? Okay. You watch as Calcorin puts on his gauntlet with Mordain's help. And he looks over at the group of you, and you see that he averts his eyes very quickly away from Oliver.
Calcorin did that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to him. And I'm just gonna... I will do everything in my power to make sure that you are safe.
And I will do everything in my power to make sure that the group isn't killed by MLR.
Good.
Good.
I'm gonna just walk.
You walk and you go stand on the teleportation circle. That as these electrical sparks are now starting to shoot off of these like pylons that are on other side of the circle. And as you all start to go and approach, you hear a voice that cries out and says, "Wait!" And jogging up is Sarah. And she goes, "Pepper, please a moment."
Oh, okay.
She pulls you off to the side. And she says, "You know, Pepper, the last 6 hours have really put a lot of things into perspective for me. And I don't want to go through life with any regrets or could haves."
Yeah, that's a great mentality to have.
There's a show happening at the Meridian Theater later this week.
Oh my god.
And I was asked to attend by one of the stars, and I've got an extra comp ticket. And I was wondering if you would accompany me to the theater.
Oh, Sarah, I hate the theater. That is so nice of you. Ooh, yes, of course, we will go. We will go hang out. And I will watch a show with actors who are so cool.
It's supposed to be a really good show.
I believe it. Oh, I believe it.
We can show up for
Live
just a
fever.
couple. We can show up for the first act and dip at the
Oh, that
intermission.
sounds great. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I hear a
Just
lot
make
of
the-
people do
make
that.
the public appearance. Yeah. Oh, it's weird how many people do that.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Famous people even. Look, I'm excited. Thank you. Be safe, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope everything goes well here. I know it is safe with you.
Okay. We'll take care of everything here if you take care of everything there.
Thank you, Sarah. You are such a good friend. And I hug her.
She hugs back. All right. So you head over to the device. That same like energy is and you feel the hair on the back of your neck and your arms start to stand up, and this staticky feeling is sort of blasting through you. And as you sit there and get this strange feeling, you watch as Mordain on the other side says, "Right, remember, you all have to activate the gauntlet at the same time in order to come back. Once you activate it, it'll take a couple seconds, but then it'll pull you back to us. So anything that's caught in that, if they don't have a gauntlet, they're not coming back. Do you understand?"
Why did you make it so complicated?
Listen, it's experimental device. We can iron this out. This is beta testing, basically, we're doing.
Don't worry about it, Mordain. You're so smart and cool. And if we die, it probably wasn't your fault.
Are there any like side effects that we should be looking out for?
Don't open your eyes when you're going through the teleportation. If you do that, you might go mad. We haven't really tested it for that yet. A lot of us were scared when we went through, but in the meantime, it should be pretty good. Stand by. He goes over to a large machine and he says, "Okay, we're firing off. Jaunt Tech, test number 3, In 5,
3,
4, 3, 2, be safe.
close your eyes.
And he throws this switch, and there is a sound, and you watch as your bodies begin to stretch and elongate, and
No, we
suddenly
don't.
time and space around you feel the energy flowing through you. You are part of the universe. You were one with everything for a brief moment, and there is a burst of arcane energy, and we are going to take a break, folks. All right, so when it is
Evaporated.
9:29 right now, so we will be back at, we will say let's say 9:40 to come back. So folks,
40?
don't
I mean, 8?
no,
8:40.
we're gonna take a full hour and 10 minutes. No.
We're gonna take a nap.
Okay, just for that, I'm removing bathroom time. We're gonna come back at 8:35. All right, 8:35. So be ready. We're gonna see what happens to these goofy goobers once they are in the barren slopes of the dueling serpents. We'll see you all in a little bit. Welcome back. So, last we left off, our players were hurtling through space, trying to get over towards the barren slopes. It's assumed that the coordinates for where you need to land have been punched in by Mordain with while working with Calcorin, and currently the four of you and Calcorin are blasting through to the barren slopes, which is the northern section of Orsut, which is the eastern continent of the dueling serpents, which is the complete opposite side pretty much of the world from you guys. And as you
Jet lag.
I know, right? You blast through the air
Oh
and
wait,
suddenly
jaunt
yeah.
lag.
jaunt lag, there we go, very good.
There it is. Sorry.
Get
You're
out.
fine. The first thing that hits you is the cold. The barren slopes are freezing. Snow coats most of the rocks here, and hidden ice underneath is absolutely dangerous to walk on. The wind howls around you as you stand looking up at impossibly high mountains to your north. Hardly anything grows out here outside of small lichen and the occasional shrub. You see no life, not even birds. And Calcorin bundling his jacket tighter and says, "So, how long do we have to stay here?"
I
Are
thought
there any-
you were in charge of this.
Well, it'll take a couple of days for the cult to make their way here.
Is it warmer where the dragon is?
I don't think we should go see the dragon now, I'll be honest. Here's what I
Why
would
not?
say. If we make ourselves known, I'm worried that Imolar is not going to take kindly to what we have to say and the information, and the more people knowing where his lair is. I don't feel confident and comfortable bringing you all into that space without the certainty that he will not attack you. So, I vote that we make our way down, and he gestures down into the mountain pass right near you. Says, down there. It'll take a couple of hours of hiking, but once we make our way in, we can set up camp and have a base camp. The entrance to the lair leads through that pass. If the cult is going to come, they'll come right to us.
I want to look around to see if there's any hint that anyone else has been here already.
The snow looks pristine.
Okay.
The wind is whipping around you. Every so often, the clouds of snow that are billowed up block out view of certain things, and there's a haziness to the air, an atmosphere that covers most of the space around you. You don't see any sign of life.
All right. Well, that's as good of a plan as any.
Okay, follow me. I think I know a spot. This is where me and Takash used to set up camp before we would go in. And he marches down and starts making a hike down into the center. Xeris, as you walk down into this mountain pass, what's going through your head?
I feel like the main thing right now is that I'm weirdly making decisions, or at least started like initiating things in which I normally wouldn't have. And I think it's just due to the fact that I'm starting to not necessarily not trust Oliver, but at the same time not worried about his decision making. So I guess like what's kind of going through my head is like how I'm responding to everything in a way that I wouldn't expect.
Okay. Voxy, you're following up behind Xeris. As you walk, the wind is biting into you. You feel a chill on your face that you've pulled a mask up over your nose and mouth to try to keep a bit warmer. You've all prepared for this. I want to make that clear. No one's going to like freeze to death out here, but you still feel so cold right now. What's going through your head?
I'm definitely thinking about how I don't know if I trust this guy to take us where we need to go and his reasons for not taking us to the dragon. And I'm frustrated because I want to go to the dragon. And there's also a 7% of my brain is still thinking about how Sarah asked Pepper out. Still surprised by that one. And just kind of trying to take inventory of how that makes me feel.
Okay. Oliver, you are walking directly behind Voxy. Up ahead, you can see Calcorin is marching through the snow, his gnome legs making it difficult march for him, but he's persevering. It seems like he has a newfound drive that is pushing him right now. What's going through your head?
I'm feeling okay. I think that hearing the things that I heard earlier in the evening, sort of been like, all right, there's a lot of tragedy that got averted. It's time to focus in and stop future tragedy. So I think I'm just like, no, we gotta focus. This is important. Yeah, I'm like, I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like focused, but not like I have to focus. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I
It's
gotcha.
like I'm getting back. I'm back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
I'm finding my groove again.
Okay. Pepper, you're at the back end of the party. You are so cold right now. You tend to go towards warmer climates. It's just kind of what you prefer. And for a brief moment, you are hit with a pang of what's the right word for it? You think of Wintermeyer. And just a brief moment of like, how is everyone doing? How's Corey? How's Char? Cinnamon's probably talking now. Saffron probably works over at the Penguin's Pride by now as well. What's going through your head?
I'm definitely thinking about my family and how long it's been since I've seen them. And I am a little thrown by Sarah asking me to hang out. But, you know, excited to see where that friendship can go. And I think I'm also very relieved that we don't have to go see the dragon. Because Pepper really didn't want to see a dragon.
As you think of the dragon, you see just a brief of fire that flashes in front of your face. And in it, there was a silhouette that you very much recognized. And a voice calls out in the blizzard and says, "We can set up over there. I think we can carve out some of the snow and use it to block some of the wind." And you watch as Calcorin begins to start digging and begins building a small little shelter. And another word suddenly enters your mind. A word that you have not thought about in so long. Morena. A couple of hours pass as everyone is putting together the camp. What's everyone doing to help?
I think I'm gonna send Zepexi to go just fly around and find areas that look like they would be of interest, or like either anything that looks interesting or anything that would be like, oh, this is a this is a possible avenue for them to sneak past us, that sort of thing. And then
Okay.
just I tell her, like, go do this and then fly back and show me anything that is important.
Okay. Zepexi flies around for a while before returning a few hours later after camp has been set up. And the owl lands on your arm, and you have a telepathic link with the owl, right?
I believe only within a certain... No, wait, hang on. Let me look at the exact text. I know that I can only look through her eyes if she's within, like, a certain amount of space to me.
Okay. She can communicate with you, though, yes?
But yeah, I can communicate. Yeah, telepathically she can communicate.
She sends you an image. A couple of miles away from here, there are what looks like ruins. An old structure of some kind, stone in nature. And you recognize this instantly with the images that are being cast into your brain as dwarven made. I mean, you know as well as anyone what city you are near. You are near Autumn Hall, your birthplace, as well as the Dwarven City.
Okay. So does that jump out to me as being of use to us, or a problem or anything like that?
No, you think of it immediately as that's going to be more beneficial to us for the long run. It sounds like we're going to be here for a couple of days. If we're looking for a place to stay, that's going to be a benefit to us to build a camp there. Maybe use this as like an overnight thing, but then head out early next morning and set up our ambush site there.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I like the sound of that. I love a good ambush.
Voxy, what do you do to help set up the camp here tonight?
I'm gonna first make sure that I'm gonna see if the dwarf needs any help setting up the shelter.
Okay. He's a gnome.
And because is he setting up a shelter for her? Sorry, I'm so sorry. If the gnome needs any help setting up the shelter.
Yeah, he welcomes help.
Uh,
You can see that he is pulling basically a whole bunch of tenting equipment and camping equipment out of a bag of holding. Each one just coming out of the top of this bag. It's a funny little haversack kind of deal. And as he is pulling out these things, you're just beginning to start setting up, and you can see and watch as he pulls out a bunch of firewood that is dry and ready to use.
Good. So I'm gonna get that ready. I'm gonna help set up the tent, and once we're done with that, I'm gonna start keeping watch.
Okay. You go and you wander out down into the basin of this like valley you're in, this mountain pass. And as you go out just a good distance from the camp, but not far enough that you're like out of eyesight, you look out and it's evening. At this point, after hours of walking and everything, it's dark. And there's a sense of tranquility here. But there's also a strange sense of fear. You've never been this far from your home before. Most of what you've traveled to is from Glint Harbor up to Dawnspire. And this is the furthest north you've ever been. How do you feel about that?
Definitely going to feel a little emotional about that, looking around and feeling like there is a lot of beauty in this area that we're in, and trying to convince myself to drop the fear and the mission for long enough to be able to enjoy this view and this area and this place, and take a moment of something that I don't think Foxy's ever really done before, but is working on getting better at, of being grateful that her job, however scary and dangerous, has brought her to a place like this and gotten her out of home far enough away to be able to see things like this.
Gotcha. You look out at the wind and the snow, and for a brief moment, you swear that you could see stars through those clouds. Xeris, how are you helping set up the camp?
I'm for sure, I feel like, going to be kind of head on a swivel, sort of, during any sort of setup. I kind of want to, I don't know, like basically kind of assess everything, the area, because he told us what, like, that the pass was the one way people could get to the dragon, but like, I don't necessarily think, I don't want to take that as the be all end all of the situation. So I guess I just kind of want to.
Why don't you trust Calcoran?
I guess it's less of I not trusting him and more that I don't know if he necessarily is going to have the right, I guess, plan. Like I guess he strategy that the rest of us potentially would in a scenario like this. But then also there is an element of, for sure, Xeris thinks there's definitely, something afoot at the Circle K. So
Understood.
And it just because, I don't know, not necessarily that because he was the one that was one of the ones that was, kidnapped or whatever. But
yeah,
but that also, if everything was as planned as it seems to have been planned, it's very easy that he could have been kidnapped on purpose. So I guess, I don't know. I feel like that's just all rattling through his brain and not necessarily focusing on like, oh, I'm going to put this tent up.
Gotcha. No worries. So you're at the edge of the camp watching Voxy and Calcoran build everything up. You keep looking over your shoulder because you swear you are hearing something, whether it's on the wind or in the distance. There is a very present feeling of you're not alone.
We're not alone.
Pepper, what are you doing to help?
I mean, I do light the fire. And then I think I like scout just like in the very, very nearby area for like little like stones or like rocks and
Okay.
warm them with prestidigitation to make like little heat packs. For
Okay,
everybody to
so
kind of hold on.
you find some like shale, like sheetrock, like really like flat, brittle stones. Seems like generally what these mountains are made of.
Yeah, then I try to get some of that and just like handheld kind of size.
Okay, gotcha. You do that and divvy them out, and you all have a moment now to chat. Now that the fire has been built, food has been divvied out for dinner. Calcorin is off sitting by himself. And the four of you have a moment.
I sent my owl to look around. There's an old dwarven ruin not terribly far from here that might be a better place to camp long term.
How far away is it?
Couple of miles from
Couple
you.
miles. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
not bad. It's not bad.
It'll probably take most
Yeah,
of
we're
the
gonna
next day to get there based on these conditions. I'll say that.
Got it.
If nothing else, it'll provide a little bit more shelter than we have right now, and a better place to set up a base camp and an ambush. More defensible position, if nothing else.
My
Works for me.
question is how long is he gonna make us wait to go see this dragon? Or is this on purpose? Is the other thought that crossed my
Just a
mind.
question. Do we have to see the dragon? Is that like very important?
I feel like we have to go see the dragon to go see if someone else has gone to see the dragon,
Well,
right?
But if we... Right, but I do think it's a better idea to try to block them from getting close, especially if they have numbers on their side.
Yeah, but then
I-
again, why wouldn't we go see a dragon then? Do you?
I don't know why you are very excited to see a dragon. I am not excited.
I mean, I'm not excited to see the dragon, but I also, I don't know. I feel like warning the dragon is a good move at this point in the game.
I don't know. Calcorin has just like so often brought up the fact that this dragon could eat us at any moment,
Yeah, but
and I
I
just
feel like
don't...
we need
Isn't
either.
that why we brought him?
The dragon's
Yeah.
bloodlust. It may be a boon to us if the dragon is aware that someone is coming. I feel like that's half the battle.
To be fair, we didn't bring him with us. He asked if he could come and kind of forced his way in, which never felt right with me.
It's fair. I don't know how else we would get to
Can I
him.
do a
though.
perception check? Can this guy hear what we're saying?
Give me a perception check.
Uh,
This is the first time we've
very
rolled this
good.
whole damn game.
No, there was
Oh
this.
my
there was a
god,
thing-
yeah.
No, we did a
It
history.
was a
check.
history
A
check.
history
yeah.
check. Jesus.
Rolled a 13.
That was a
Still.
23.
Pepper,
Yes.
yes. Calcorin can 100% hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to Calcorn.
He looks up.
Hey,
And
Calcorin.
you see him. He's eating whatever kind of stew you all were eating.
Am I gonna be a bother if I sit here with you and talk at you? I'm very bad at not talking, so I can't promise quiet.
No, that's fine.
I just wanted to say I am very sorry that we have met this way. You seem like a perfectly nice gentleman. They hate that our meeting and continued interactions are filled with this much tension.
We met under difficult circumstances. And I understand your hesitation in working with me. I didn't make it easy for you to trust me immediately.
To be fair, I think that perhaps a flaw within our group, amongst perhaps many of us, is trust in other people. So it is not exclusive to you.
I just worry that some of you believe that the dragon can be of use or help to us in this situation. And I worry that some of you just don't understand what a red dragon is.
You know, I knew a fire genie for a long time, and sometimes when you talk about the dragon, it reminds me of that.
You speak, of course,
Hopefully
of
not evil.
Vergalath, yes?
Uh-huh, yeah.
I know of what you did there. Everyone in the Fellguard knows what you did.
I wasn't trying to make this one about me, Calculator. Okay.
I'm saying that I could never fight a dragon. But I think your group could give it a shot. But I wouldn't bet on it.
I would really prefer not to fight a
In fact, I think everyone should hear this. He stands up and he walks over to the group and says, "Red dragons are the largest of the chromatic dragons. And there is no larger than Immalar. He's one of the oldest and strongest dragons that I have ever known. Red dragons have a very swift and fiery temper, and if they are angered, even by the slightest provocation, they could destroy this continent. My job requires me to communicate and strike deals with these beautiful and destructive beings. And so when I say that I'm worried, I want you to understand the gravity of the situation. If we can make it through this without Immalar even having a thought that we are here, that is a best case scenario.
I feel like we should also talk worst case scenario.
Worst case
Not a bad
scenario
idea.
is they will never find our bodies because we will be burnt to an ash that gets spread out across the barren slopes.
Or if we don't get to him first. We don't know what they're planning. Clearly, they have something in mind that they've been planning for a long, long time. We don't want to fight the dragon. We want to protect the dragon. I don't
I
think
understand.
Barren,
I understand that. Okay, I understand that.
You're
What
saying you're saying that if these people get to the dragon, he's not going to see a difference between us and them.
Exactly.
Okay. Then we won't let them get to the dragon. Need to set traps. Tomorrow, can you show me where the most likely route for them to travel through is?
Of course.
All right. Okay. We won't let them get to the dragon.
I know you won't. I was just telling Pepper. Everybody in the Fellguard knows what you four did. And how you saved all of us. I know you can do this.
I do have one question. If the ideal situation is for him to never know that we are here, what are you planning to say to him when you go talk to him?
He'll know. He'll see the remains for sure, and he'll probably hear us. Dragons have very sensitive senses, to put it bluntly. The wind protects us now, but once when camp combat begins, we'll have probably moments before he arrives. I think that we need to be ready to leave as soon as the cultists are dealt with, to go back to Dawnspire almost immediately.
Okay. Understood. I'm going to I'm gonna do some planning.
Okay. Oliver, can I talk to you real fast before we lay down for bed? Okay. Two of you walk a bit further from camp. The three of you who are left here, what are you all doing?
I'm gonna start tidying up dinner and get ready for bed. Get ready to put the things out and get ready for whoever's going to take the first watch.
I don't think I'm sleeping. I think if
Okay.
anything, I'm going to do first watch.
Okay. Gotcha. So
That's
you go
fine.
get set up where you need to go. Pepper?
I'm gonna start moving towards bed. If
Okay.
Sirius is pushing, then we'll take-
Okay, sounds good. So you
I'll tell Virus I'm taking second.
Okay. You head over where you need to go, packing up the food. Xeris, you get perched up on the hillside, wrap your blanket around you, and settle in to watch. And you look up as you see Kelcorin marching in the snow, kind of fighting it a little bit. It's almost waist high for him. And turn to Oliver. And he says, Oliver, I think I owe you an apology for some of the things that I said to you the last time we spoke. I know that both of us acted in ways that we aren't, it seems, used to acting. I found myself in a very tough position. The person that I loved had just been threatened to die, to be killed unless I gave up that which I coveted most. And I think that I still was feeling that feeling of disgust and hate and anger when I spoke with your group. And I want you to know that I am sorry, and that is not how I normally conduct myself.
I'm very surprised, honestly. I truly did not even consider that I was owed an apology to you. I owe you an apology. Likewise, I, for lack of a better term, was hit by the realization that I had put my actions have led to a situation where the people I love are in danger, and I'm working very hard to fix that, and I think that I acted harshly to you as a result. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Now let's kill some cultists.
You got it. First bed. He goes over and lays down on his bedroll inside of his tent. And, I mean, God. The adrenaline high that this man must have been riding for the past, like, at this point, maybe over 24 hours, he's out like a light. One by one, the others... yeah.
I'm just gonna ask Zepexi to continue flying around, and if she sees anything that's untoward, just alert whoever's on watch.
Sure, absolutely. Everybody else lays down, apart from Cirrus, who's taking first watch. And the night passes without incident. Everybody moves on to their watch positions, one at a time, waking each other up. Is there anything we wish to do tonight before we move on? All right.
Good.
The next morning, you all pack up your things and head northward in the direction of the Dragon's Lair. And you find a old ruin, a watchtower of sorts that seems to have been built directly into the side of the mountain and long forgotten by the dwarves. Spending some time building stuff up inside this space, everyone begins preparing for the ambush. Now, how do each of you prepare and help the group in this way? Xerus, we're going to start with you.
I mean, I guess part of me is usually looking to Oliver for these sort of scenarios. So I don't know. I feel like I would want to call almost a team meeting before we start, quote unquote, preparing.
Okay, we can do that. Absolutely. So planning mode.
Yeah.
Let's Jordan, can we get a layout of this space?
Yeah, so think of this as like a long valley that sort of curves a little bit, but you can see all the way down through it. And at the far end of the valley where you all are, the watchtower stands up, halfway buried in snow against the backdrop. You would see something approaching long before they knew that someone was here. If you prepare and hide yourselves well enough, you could watch as anyone approaching through this valley, you'll have a good heads up. It's almost like a funnel point, a choke point.
And the entrance to this watchtower, is it like they have to climb a ladder or some stairs to get up there?
It's stairs that wind around the outside.
How tall is this watchtower?
Pretty tall. It's partially about a quarter of the way up the mountain itself, and so you're able to see a good
Okay.
distance if given the right atmospheric conditions, like no snow or anything. You could see probably for miles.
Mhm.
Right now it's difficult. The snow is pretty heavy and the wind is picking up a lot of stuff. You could probably only see about a half a mile to a mile out.
You said the stairs go around the outside.
Yes.
So like open air on one side, wall on the other,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm going to. These are in my inventory from the last session.
Okay.
Or from the last season. I mean.
Last season?
But I guess I could have just. Yeah, could have just grabbed them.
Okay, what are
out
they?
of the armory before. I have 2 bags of ball bearings and 1 bag of caltrops.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. So I hold up the bag of caltrops and I say, so this might be a good thing to place at the foot of the stairs, or even along the stairs if we wanted to, and sort of hide them among the snow. They do have the greatest effect when they are grouped together, so perhaps at the bottom of the stairs. I also have these, but if we try to put them on the stairs, they'll probably just roll off the side of the watchtower.
You can also try to take out the stairs while they're on them. I have a pretty good spell for something like that.
Would it be a good idea for one of us to be up the stairs of the watchtower, have a sniper angle?
I do think that having a good amount of cover is going to be very useful for you specifically, Voxy. Xeris, did you bring a bow?
Do I bring a bow? No. When do I ever use a bow, Oliver?
You can have my bow, Xeris. I have magic, so it's not that useful to me. But
I mean, I'll
I did
try.
have it because
Can't
one time
guarantee I'm gonna be good at it. Just saying.
I'm just
fine.
keeping our options open. And as I look down here at this sort of funnel point in the snow, we may, Calcorin, you know this area better than we do. If I were to set up something that could trigger a small avalanche,
Oh.
That'll certainly get their attention as well as Imilar's too. Don't forget.
is that a bad thing?
Not necessarily, but if Imilar does notice us, he will attack both the cultists and us before I could even probably catch his attention.
Okay, so then
But if you're quick enough,
you probably
we could bury these cultists and teleport away.
okay.
I really do want to see if we can at least get one for questioning, though. I know it's a big ask, but if there's any way, it would be really good to have any information on these
I
guys.
agree.
It's going to be difficult because we
Okay.
can't teleport with them. They don't have a gauntlet.
No! True, and time is of the essence.
I mean, we can get information and then just murder them. That's always an option.
Also that. Leave them here.
I think Calcorin might be right in this instance. We might not have time for interrogation.
We can see if we can get something out quick. If we take out a good portion of the cultists in a swift move, one fell swoop, and maybe separate one, or the reverse, separate one from the herd early on, take them and extract some information, so to speak, and then fight. We might be able to get what we need.
We're also
Fine.
assuming they're coming with an army. which we don't know is true.
That's true.
Potentially undead army.
Calcoran, would
Yeah.
you be willing to be in charge of making the call of when we have to go? Like, you give the signal and everybody has to activate the gauntlet then and there?
Yes.
Feel comfortable with
I
doing
spoke with Mordrin. Mordain. He said that we all have to be near each other though, in order for the gauntlet to pull us back. It's an energy transfer thing. The gauntlets communicate with each other and form a temporary circle beneath us. We need to make sure that we are all in not the same exact positions as we were coming back, but we need to make sure that we're all together.
So when you make the call, then everybody has to group up immediately to go.
Okay, I'll keep an ear out. We'll hear him before we see him.
Or I just trust that you know, I don't know, the sign of a coming dragon better than...
Think of the loudest thunderstorm you've ever experienced. It's like that.
Well, I mean, we did climb up the side of a monster whose whole left arm was a volcano.
This is true.
You're well versed then.
True.
And worst case scenario, if one of us falls in battle, then we grab one of them, throw the dead one's gauntlet on the cultist, and then, you know, you guys can interrogate them. I volunteer. If I fall, you guys can take my gauntlet and put it on a cultist so that you can get some
Roxy,
information.
we can revive you. This is what's a dark thing to say.
In case. I figure it's good. I don't know. I just
Although
thought
we
it was good to have
probably
it.
should have asked if the gauntlet can take an unconscious person back.
You all talk about dying a lot.
Foxy,
They really needed to do more beta testing before we put these
Fine,
on.
I can heal now. That's my whole
That's
thing.
true. That's true.
Kind of.
Thank God.
I mean,
I
it
think-
got us here. I think that was half the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone else's bones itch? Is that just me?
that could be an infection.
Oh,
That
God.
sounds like something you should not have come out here with.
Oh no.
No.
It was
um,
a strange feeling
uh,
after that teleportation. I don't know. Maybe it's just the cold.
It's true.
Can I do a medicine check on him
Sure.
and see if there's anything like immediately off with his
Sure.
body
Yeah,
that
give
I
me a
can
medicine
tell?
check.
All right. Let me get a vibe check on this man. So good. I've rolled twice in this episode, and both have been 19.
I just
Okay.
need to check your vibe rules.
So that's a 21.
Okay. I mean, outside of a straight up biopsy, just looking at like his like physical like attributes, he seems fine.
Okay.
The sensation of disassembling and reassembling in a different location is kind of uncharted territory.
Sure. But he's not like immediately showing signs of about to like stroke out or something.
No, he doesn't seem like it. He's not giving any symptoms of stroking out.
Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, so if you guys can take these caltrops, start by packing the snow down to create a hard surface, place them down, and then put a very light layer of loosely packed snow over top of it. Ideally, they will not see them, and then step on them.
Ideally,
Xeris-
also, we have a few days until they are expected to arrive.
We think.
We think, yes, of course, but if they're traveling from Dawnspire, my estimation has them coming in about 5 days' time.
What the hell are we supposed to do for 5 days?
I think you're looking at it. Plan and set up.
Okay.
Ugh.
Xeris, can you help me? I'm gonna try and find a good spot for setting off an avalanche. I've got a couple of ideas on how to make it work, but your sense of whatever mathematical equations it is that you're doing when you jump from building to building may be very helpful for us here.
You got it.
Can I have the two of you give me a survival check?
First roll of the game.
It's the first roll of the game.
Wow!
Damn it.
Great.
I
It's
got a
really
five.
good.
I
Zeus,
got
it's really
5.
good. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hey, I got a 15, so between us, it's a 20.
Yeah. That's how that works. It definitely doesn't average out. So the two of you begin scouting out places. So this all happens over the course of the next, we'll say 3 days. Scouting out places around the mountain. You find a place that you believe is a suitable avalanche site. A place where if explosions or some kind of something to jar the snow loose, if that were to happen, there would be enough slippage that it would begin to compound and form an avalanche here. Snowball is the right word. So that's what you believe. Looking around the area, it's basically the opposite side of the valley from where the watchtower is.
Okay. So obviously, like, I don't have to do it on day one, but at some point, what I would like to do is sort of use my shield to dig a gouge up in the snow to the point that the shield is holding like a relatively strong amount of weight of snow on it.
Okay.
And then once it's in place, I'm going to take my spear and wedge it in between the like use it to hold the shield.
I
in
see what
place.
you're doing. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. You give me a What kind of check do you think would work here? Survival, dexterity,
I think
sleight of hand?
that. Well, I was thinking, in order to like do it effectively, I imagine the snow is relatively heavy. Would athletics be okay? Or
Sure, let's
something
do
intelligence related?
let's do an athletic check. I think we can make that work.
Okay. That is a 23.
23. There is a tinkering skill, Bretterman, but we are not crafting, unfortunately. What was it? 23?
23.
Beautiful. So you spend some time, you set up this little, like, basically it's kind of like a little mousetrap. Yeah. When you zap the spear back, it will release the snow.
We're home aloneing this mountain.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so it looks to be like in very good working order. Pepper and Voxy, what are you two doing to prepare?
I am going to. I assume I came with a lot of bows or a lot of arrows.
Sure.
Is there wood around for me to make more arrows?
No, making arrows is going to be a difficult task to do out here. I'll say that.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
could do is work on finding yourself a really defensible, lots of cover position. Like
Yeah.
if there's a window
In
where
that
you
watchtower?
could, find
Yeah.
the materials to turn that window into an arrow slit.
Yeah, I'm
were.
gonna turn that watchtower into whatever the name of that library was in Texas. that
The Alamo?
What?
Sorry. Reference. No. I was thinking of the one with
Like the
Oswald.
standoff?
The Oswald.
Jesus
Cobblepot.
Christ, Voxy.
JFK. It was a reference that was not supposed to be more than just one statement. That was supposed to be an offhand joke, and then I couldn't remember what it was, and now it's awkward.
All right, we're going to move on. Give me a survival check.
I don't
I'm gonna make that watchtower. I'm gonna turn it into a sniper tower where I can set up and be able to get to, but be able to also get out easily should my comrades need me. And you said a survival check?
Yes, please.
You got it. 15.
15. Okay. So taking some wood from the firewood and using snow to help pack it in, you are able to create, like Oliver said, these arrow slits in the windows. So you're able to see out and fire handily through, but it's very difficult for them to hit you from where you are. These very thin vertical slits on the windows, and you have set yourself up with a good bit of preparation up here. You have your bows, you have arrows, and you've got a lot of the things inside the watchtower to help keep you and the rest of your group safe. I think that Calcorin is also going to be set up with you, either where you are or at the very top of the watchtower. Pepper, what about you?
Perfect.
I want to work on seeing if I can get a little solo thing going where I can figure out, like, if there's a group, a way to get for me to just shelter off one where it's not that far away, but I can try to quickly interrogate while still having an eye on the rest of it and abandoning and doing whatever spell work or healing or whatever is needed.
Okay.
So
my immediate thought is going a bit further down the valley towards the south and getting set up almost in like a hide where you can stay out of sight until you need to pop out and grab someone.
yes.
Okay.
I think it's what my plan is pop out, shocking grasp them
Okay, I like that.
into a zone of truth, and literally just hold them down with my scimitar, and see what I can get out of them.
Okay. Gotcha. Noted. Okay, so give me we're going to also do a survival check, or would you prefer a stealth check?
I would prefer a stealth check.
Okay, we'll do that then.
What? Just the rolls keep coming.
And they don't stop
21.
coming. They don't stop coming. There we go. Very good. Okay, so you have built a hide that is nearly invisible while looking out across the snowy fields. Using some of the extra wood and tents that were provided, you have fashioned a small little enclosure that is under the snow, basically spending a whole day and a half digging out this large room that can be hidden underneath where the snow is. And using these tents, you've basically formed a little bubble of safety that if you were to pop out, grab someone, bring them in, they would have no way of knowing where they went. Okay.
Actually would like to change my mind on what I would like to do as I'm grabbing them.
Yeah.
I would like to cast Enlarge Reduce on them and reduce them to
That's-
make it much easier for me to pin them.
I love that. Okay, noted. All right, so over the next couple of days, everybody spends their time setting up everything that they'd like to do. Xeris, you working with Oliver, is there another thing that you would like to do?
Well, it's funny because Pepper literally kind of described a similar idea that I had.
Do you want to? I mean, Pepper, are you willing to have Xeris work with you?
My
if you
plan,
want to get in on this, you totally can.
well,
get
my,
on the hide. The hide's really cool, man.
well, my plan was to I was like, how easily could I dig some sort of trench, hide in it, and then jump out and fucking kill people? That was my idea. But if it's going to interrupt your interrogation idea, I don't know if that's.
I don't think so, because mine would be very early on. As I think, to time it where, the avalanche is starting and I'm grabbing someone and getting them off to the side.
If we play
if
our
you-
cards right, they might not even realize that the avalanche was caused by us. They could, in a perfect world, we drive them in such a way that they seek shelter and safety in the watchtower.
Oh, I like that idea.
I don't know. I mean, we can lead a horse to water, but You know, if they have a terrible natural accident, I would want to go to the big tall tower that has stone walls.
Can
It's
you?
the
The
only thing
question
around.
is,
Okay.
is it more logical for me to hide near the watchtower, or is it near where the avalanche is occurring?
Getting trapped in the snow with the avalanche is a very, very not good idea.
Yeah,
Okay, let me ask you
obviously
this.
not in direct contact.
Yeah.
How high off of the ground is the lowest window?
Probably a good 10 feet.
Oh, okay. So if I can cast lightning lure, and if somebody gets below that window, I can pull them up through the window, leave them for you guys, and then jump out and do my thing.
Oliver, wait. So, hold on. You know, like in Mulan, when the avalanche is starting, but the signal of that happening is like the animals are like running away, like they're the telegraph of it.
This is literally what I've been picturing.
Yes. Oliver, you have an owl, and I feel like maybe like if you get so if the owl like is like coming as the avalanche is starting and it heads towards like the tower, like maybe not goes in, but like that could be maybe just draw their line of sight immediately to a tower.
The owl.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No, that's entirely
subconsciously
Mhm.
like subliminal messaging them to go
And
into the
that
tower.
actually-
So we
Or
focus
so.
everything.
Just lead
At
them
the
right
tower.
into a death trap,
'Cause
basically.
if we set up Zepexi below the avalanche line, then I can also use her to keep an eye on things, and then we will know when they're coming.
And if
And
we cover it with caltrops, like you've already mentioned, we'll have that squared away as well.
Once we pull that first one up, we'll have a few seconds to interrogate and get something out of them, while the rest of them try to make their way up the stairs, which can be caltropped and ready to go.
So let me get this
Also-
straight. We're dropping the hide idea on the front and instead swapping it to pulling someone into the tower while everyone else is currently running into the tower.
Yes, if there's a window that's only 10 feet off the ground, I have a range of 15 feet. I can pull them 10 feet from there. So if it's 10 feet off the ground, as long as somebody gets below that window, yank them up, and they all, you know.
I
their guy
will
gets
say
shot.
that will cut down on your interrogation time dramatically.
Yes, which is why I'm thinking bottom of the stairs, caltrops. Once they get up the stairs, they try to come in the door, ball bearings. And then Oliver.
Pepper, is there something that you would prefer to do here? Since it sounds like the hide idea is not happening, or are you still going to do that?
I think the hide idea could still play.
I think I still play because I can always teleport myself back to the tower.
Okay.
And I think I should be okay because the thing is, most of my spells here are going to be loud, which is why I'm very hesitant to do any area of effect, something like that, because I think that will speed up the dragon's arrival dramatically.
Sure. Voxy, you were saying something earlier.
How about also? So we're talking about all of them are planning. They're going to come up to where the watchtower is, right? And if we're going to be there, would it be useful? With this new idea, it may not be as useful, but
Yeah, I don't think that my idea is as strong as the hide idea. Now that I've remembered that Pepper has the
yeah.
vision.
What about a spike growth under the snow that they could get caught on, slowed down, giving Pepper time to pop out, grab one, you, Lightning Lore, grab one, whatever we want to do, and then pull. Then we have one to interrogate, and we've slowed down the rest, or at least we're going to really damage them, hurt them pretty bad on the spikes that they won't see coming because they'll be hidden by the snow. Is that useful?
I think so. I think if anything we can do to hold the tower is good because it provides us additional safety, and also if they're slower, we hit them more often.
Yes.
Pepper, you could set up the hide and then just like after they run past, grab one. Now that I'm like realizing you can teleport, I'm not as concerned about like you being far away from the rest of us.
Yeah, I can do Misty Step multiple times if I need to.
If you want to just like grab a straggler, do what you got to do, and then come join us when you're done. We can be the distraction that makes them not realize that the guy in the back got.
And
Okay.
I'll know when to throw it down because the owl, Zepexi, I was close. Zepexi
Hold
will
on.
tell you, and I will be able to know, and you'll tell me when to throw it down, when to throw the nails down onto the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you make your owl's name a combination of our names? Cirrus, Pepper, Foxy? I say in character.
I really missed you guys.
I didn't realize that. That's really cute.
Oliver, that is so cute.
I want to cry. Oh my god. That's
With-
really nice.
With that moment of you all making the realization, we all go off and we do our jobs. Pepper sets off their hide. Xeris and Oliver work on the avalanche point, and Voxy, you prepare the spells. So you know that your spell lasts up to 10 minutes, and it's concentration based if you were to use spike growth. So it would take time for sure to maintain. And over the next rest of the day and leading into the final day that you all were waiting, you think about that the fact that these cultists are approaching. You think about your preparations. You also think about the fact that later tonight, the two of you have a date.
That's tonight?
Yes.
5 days,
Listen,
son.
I do not know that I have a date.
That's fair. That's fair, Pepper. As you all are sitting there,
Uh-oh.
there is a small speck that appears in the distance. And you all get ready. Over the next couple of hours, you lay in wait. Can I have everybody give me a stealth check, please? Pepper, you get advantage.
Am I within, how far away, like how many feet would you say am I from the others?
From the others?
Yeah.
How far do you want to be?
No more than 60 feet.
Okay, we'll put you right at the edge of 60.
Or at least like enough that I'm on, I'm not in the avalanche path.
Okay,
but
we'll
60
put you-
feet would be
we'll
an
put
awesome
you-
range.
a little bit outside of the avalanche path, but enough that you will still be able to probably reach them as they walk past.
Okay. That and basically so I can see them and right as I'm starting to I know that these people are like getting close, get an inspiration to everybody
Okay,
before this happens.
gotcha. So over the next minute or so,
so-
you're giving inspiration to each person. What's the dice?
so
thing?
one-
D6?
Do I lose
Yeah.
the one from last game?
Well, it only lasts for 10 minutes, so you did lose that. Which is why I'm having to do it like right before this happens. But that would go to Calcorin too. I have 4, and I'll spend them all here.
He says, "Thank you. I'm not one for fighting, so I'll stay up top, and if you need help, just shout. But I'll keep an eye and an ear out for you know who."
Got it. You got this, Calcorin.
You all go separate to where you need to go. Yes, Voxy.
Would Longstrider work on Zepexi? And would that help lengthen their telepathic connection?
That I don't think it'll do.
Okay,
No,
that's
I
fine.
don't-
Just wanted to check.
It works on a creature. I don't know if Zepexi is technically a creature.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
choose.
Because I
She
think
is not a construct. Technically, she's a fae, but
Uh-huh.
Longstrider I don't think is going to improve the connect. We have to be within 100 feet to be able to communicate telepathically.
yeah,
Okay.
it would just increase the speed.
I would like to.
But I can just say like, here's your instructions.
Yeah.
Follow them when this happens, and she'll do it.
Mhm.
So I would like to, as we see them coming, once we get to a certain point, I'm gonna cast Longstrider on myself and
Okay.
someone else. Is there someone who is going to be traveling a lot, like needs to be able to get somewhere quick,
Probably.
potentially? Based on your
Sounds like
plans?
most of you are going to be by the tower, except for Pepper. But Pepper is going to be able to Misty Step over. So it's kind of your choice.
Will they need farther Misty Step? Will you need a longer?
So Misty Step can't be extended in terms of the range. It's kind of just pretty much set.
Oh.
Xeris, what's your speed?
My speed is 40 feet.
Okay, then you've got 10 more than me. So if you put Longstrider on me, then me and Xeris can keep up with each other.
Got it. All right. So I would like to cast Longstrider on myself and Oliver.
Okay, go ahead and mark down two spells slots.
No, it's a. Upper
It's just
level
one.
spell slot.
It's the yeah.
Oh, you can
Second.
cast it on multiple? I see.
I'm gonna cast.
One additional creature. I see.
I think on. Yeah. So I'm just gonna cast first level. Or no, second level.
Second level, yeah, second level. All right, so you do this, you cast the spell, and everyone moves out to where they need to be. After about an hour or so of lying in wait, Pepper, you're the first to notice them. The cultists, a large group of them, probably about 20 to 30, are marching their way through the snow. As they walk, you can hear semblance of conversation coming from them. And it sounds like they're arguing. Give me a perception check.
They're just like us. Sorry.
15. You hear one of them go, "What do you mean there's no more instructions? They gave us minute by minute detailed instructions for the other job, and for this we get nothing? We're the ones trying to get this done. Don't they trust us? Listen, we are the children of Orcus, okay? We should be feared and respected for this." And somebody else goes, "You know, I heard that the other ones were told to change their accents to be more intimidating." And one of the ones in the center says, "Don't y'all think that it'd be better if we were displaying a unified force as opposed to so much infighting?" And the other goes, "Shut up, Corin."
Why
Wait.
is that name familiar?
It's not. I'll say that. It's not a
It
reference.
just sounds like Calcorin. That's what it. That's
Oh,
what it is.
Calcorin. Calcorin.
Yes, that's right.
If I'm looking through Zepexi's eyes and ears, and
Mhm.
she's down at the avalanche point, is she close enough that I can make a perception check and try to get some more?
Sure.
I
You-
would like to
yeah.
relay what I've just heard through
Okay.
message.
Okay.
120 feet of range.
and I know exactly where those guys are.
Uh-huh.
And nobody can hear me when I do this.
Okay.
So I will try to relay very quickly to, I guess Oliver as like the middleman here. What's going on? To hopefully signal him to get Zepexi to find out more too.
Oh, that's interesting, but entirely in line with what I was suspecting. Okay, good. This is more information.
What'd you hear?
Pepper says that the cultists are both receiving orders from someone else, have not received several orders for any of what they are doing now, and also they are kind of dumb.
Well, we did hear that these cultists were, worthless and not a problem.
So this lines
That's-
up entirely.
Does
It
that
sounds
mean
like whoever is in charge of this, they are using the children of Orcus as a weapon.
Pepper.
They
Yes.
the question is
are
used
the
to us as
not
well?
the shaft.
Pepper, you notice as one of them says, "Hold on, I gotta take a leak," and the others say, "Well, hurry up."
I don't want to
okay?
get him with. I don't want to get him with the shaft out, Jordan. Come on, man.
He stumbles over and ends up just slightly near where you are hiding. The others you can
Okay,
see from
well-
your position are continuing to walk.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
give
would
him.
like-
Give me another stealth check. This is gonna be contested.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos to reroll that, please.
Okay.
Much better. That is an 18.
18. Okay, that beats it. You're lucky.
Okay.
He undoes his fly and is pissing in the wind.
Okay, this sucks. I need you to know that this sucks.
I'm
Does
gonna
the
write
wind
this-
blow it back in his face?
Can I
Oh,
wait
yeah,
until he
has to-
puts it back?
He has to turn because god damn it, as it's flying back on his pants.
Come on, man. Come on. Can I wait until he puts it back at least?
It seems like they haven't had a bathroom break this whole trip. It's been like 20 full seconds.
No.
And he keeps turning.
Oh.
Okay,
Cool
fine.
DM.
Fine. This is what you want me to. This is what you, as a DM,
Finally.
are forcing me as a player. You are railroading me into doing this.
He
I
finally wraps
reduced
everything
the
up and puts
man.
it away.
No, I reduce the man while he's still at it, and then I knock him on his back so he is on his front in the snow.
Give me
Get him! Get
a
'em.
strength check. This is going to be an opposed grapple check with advantage for
Hey.
you.
And he has disadvantage because I have just reduced him.
And also he's pissing. Yeah.
You really caught him with his pants
He
down.
rolled a natural one.
Yeah, I didn't roll well, but I didn't roll a natural one.
That's okay. He is sitting there just getting ready to wrap up his business when you suddenly jump out, clock him as hard as you can, and then cast the spell. What does the spell look like when you cast it?
I think this one is very much like as I'm like reaching out for him, I like you see like I go like this. He's like lit like in a silhouette with like an orange outline, and then I just like smush him.
You hit him in the back of the head, and he goes, "Ow! What the hell?" Just suddenly gets smaller and is squished, and then suddenly his face gets smushed into the snow. And with that muffling sound, you grab him and pull, and drag him into the hut. He looks up at you with a terrified face. And he goes, "Oh, what do you want?"
Shush. Shush, shush, shush. Can I do Zone of Truth on him?
Yes. You may. Is large and or enlarge and whatever, is that concentration based?
Yes, but I can. So that was going to replace this, which is good because I can't fucking understand a word you say when you do that.
Fair enough. All right. So you cast Zone of Truth. Suddenly, all the like.
But I will get him pinned.
Okay.
And my sword to his throat, so he hopefully does not have a lot of range of movement here.
Okay.
There's
a brief moment. What does he have to roll?
He has to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh, these guys are great at that, I'm sure.
He rolled a
was it?
5.
Okay, because I do know if he fails or not. So now
he failed.
he cannot speak a deliberate lie.
Beautiful.
So, yes.
He
suddenly
grows
is aware of this too.
to full size as he's going, please don't hurt me. I'm sorry. I didn't. What do you want?
Shush, shush, shush! Quick, what's your name?
My name. My name is Roby.
Roby? Okay.
Roby.
Hi, Roby. Roby, member of the Children of Orcus.
Yep, that's me.
Who has hired you? Who is ordering you to do this? Who is taking control of your group?
Well, who's in control of the group? Or who's ordering
Yes.
to do this? Because those are two different things.
Who's ordered you to do this?
Okay. I don't know.
Who's in control of your group?
Well, that's gonna be Arcadius. He's the
Is he
leader
out
of our
there?
outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
You probably
How high-
recognized him for his height and his natural charisma, which I am threatened by.
Don't want to unpack all this, Roby. What can you tell me about your organization?
We follow the teachings of Orcus, the undead, the undying, and we want to destroy all life as we know it.
Why are you going after the dragon?
Because the dragon is, of course, as you know, a lineage to one of the dragons that was controlled by Orcus. So if we can convince the dragon to join our side, we will be able
Who
to
had
share
the idea to go after the dragon?
the mystery letter writer.
God damn you, Roby. When did the mystery letter come?
A couple months ago, we started getting our first letters as well as our first shipment of gold pieces.
Where are the gold pieces coming from?
We assume from the same letter writer.
Are there any descriptive markings about where the gold may coming from?
I think it may be made in Dawnspire.
Letter Q.
Made in Dawnspire.
That's where
Okay.
they make most of the gold, to my knowledge.
Do you know anything about... I'm going to kill you, Roby. Do you know
Please don't.
anything...
I don't want to die.
Do you know anything about the attack on the Fellguard?
Yes.
Who orchestrated that?
The letter writer. But we put in some pretty good ideas. Like it was
I don't
our
think you
ideas to
did.
dress up as the staff. The letter writer told us that we should just make undead constructs of the staff and have them come back and just play along. But we decided that we
So
were
your
going to jump
idea
in.
was cosplay. Your input on this whole plan was cosplay, is what you're telling me.
That's a very cruel way to put it, but it sounds apt.
This makes it sound like I do not respect cosplay as an art form, which I would like on the record that is not true. Cosplay is really cool. Anyone who does it is very good. Anyway, Roby,
are you
that's not the
speaking to?
point. Fourth wall. Anyway,
The comments.
I'm trying not to get canceled. Roby, is there any information that you could tell me as an outsider of your organization about what your new plan is?
No. We have
Roby,
had an argument every single day for the past 5 days about how we should handle the dragon.
And you have no idea what you were supposed to do when you got
No.
to the dragon.
We were gonna sacrifice Sigmund, see if that did anything.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is Sigmund like dressed up with a buffalo head, carrying a big flag?
Roby, have you ever thought about a career change?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I fear that I am too far in.
Well, do you ever think about maybe, like, not joining a cult? Maybe getting out? Because I used to be in a cult and I got out.
Sometimes I fear that if I leave, I won't have anything that I can do, and I'll just feel worthless.
That's what I thought, Roby. That's what I thought exactly. But
I'm
do you
scared
know
that
what?
all the bad
Now
things that
I'm-
I've done are gonna catch up to me.
No, well, maybe. You do have to do some atonement, but great news, Roby. I can take responsibility for you.
Okay.
Because your pants are still down, and I really do feel a little...
Sorry,
I feel
get those
bad
up.
about killing you at this point. Yeah.
I'm really glad that you
Um,
aren't gonna kill me.
Well,
I
if
set
I
off the
drop-
avalanche.
There is a... As the snow begins to kick off in the distance, you all look up just in time to see this wind moving down and this cloud of snow that is billowing and buffeting down this mountain, racing down it even, and you hear shouts from below from the crowd as they go, "Oh fuck! What the hell? Oh my, get out of here!" As they start running as hard as they can through the snow. These, and I don't say this lightly, absolute buffoons are trying so hard to run towards the watchtower. One of them shouts, "Look, there's an owl! It's wise! It knows where safety is!" And takes off. I want you to know, I just rolled an intelligence saving throw and he rolled a 4.
The dice know, man.
Pepper, in your hide, Roby is going, "That sounds very dangerous and I'm scared right now."
Well, it is an avalanche, so, Roby,
Fuck.
if I drop the zone of... Yep, if your friends are dying as we speak.
That makes
how do
me
you feel
happy
about-
and sad. Some of them I consider dear acquaintances, and some of them I could care less for.
Hey, well, maybe they'll survive. I don't know.
I sure
It's not
hope
my
it's the one I
choice.
cares for and not the ones I don't like.
Well, I can't make these decisions for you. Anyway, Roby, if I drop the zone of truth on you and I take my sword away from you, are you going to try to kill me?
I might panic and run.
Okay, well, that's fair. Would you
To be honest,
do me a...
I am not trained in the ways of weaponry.
Hey,
This
Roby.
knife is for killing myself if I get caught, which I have thought about
Roby,
multiple
listen
times.
to me. Wait, I have a question. How far away from me, from Wintermeyer are we?
From Wintermeyer, you're a very good distance.
Okay,
It's across the
But, like-
other side of
the other side of the continent?
Yeah.
Okay, how far away from... And we're like a few...
That avalanche sounds mighty close.
Roby, listen to me. You are going to go to...
I know I
where
just
town
pissed,
did I
but
live?
I'm about to
Trade
shit my
Town?
pants
Shut
too.
up! Shut up, Roby! You are going to go to Trade Town. You are going to
Trade
go
Town.
to a house owned by a man named Khaled. Okay?
Okay.
That is where I live, and I'm going to take responsibility for you, and I'm going to fix you because I
Okay.
have now imprinted on you. I think, and I think of you as my son.
Okay,
So, please,
I'm very
you
glad
have
to
to
have a
live,
new
Roby.
parent.
yes. Okay. I will. What am I gonna do with this kid?
Should I kill myself now or later?
No! Kill yourself! You're not allowed!
Understood.
I'm going to,
That
This is
avalanche
what I'm
sounds
gonna do.
really close.
I'm going to misty step us away from the avalanche.
Okay, there is a as you are blasted through the snow, this foggy trail listing out behind you. Can you take others with you?
That's a great question, and I think the answer is no.
I also think the answer is no.
The answer is definitely no.
All right,
Oh,
you hear a
boy.
come from inside the hide as you vanish. And then as you appear at the watchtower with groups of cultists who are sprinting through the snow, trying to climb the stairs. They make it to...
Oh god.
They rolled a 2! Oh my fucking god! They're sprinting up the stairs. All of them trip and fall on the steps, which are icy and cold and full of caltrops and barbarians. They are slipping and crawling their way up, and one of them is going, "Quick, I have an idea. Let's all kill ourselves." And the other one goes, "No, not yet." Pepper, you appear at the in the watchtower with everybody who looks panicked as this avalanche is coming through the mountain. All of the people who are out on the staircase are looking terrified. What are you doing?
Did Roby make it?
You look in the distance and you can see a lone figure running through the snow as they toss a knife out of their hand, sprinting as fast as they can down the mountain.
Does it look like he might make it?
Let's find out.
Can I help by...
How would you like to help?
I want to help. Can I? This is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Can I cast? It has a range of 120 feet. Can I cast Scorching Ray to just kind of melt some of the snow that's in his path coming his way, so that he has a better chance of making
Yeah, go ahead. Roll to hit. Roll to hit.
Roll to hit the snow.
Roll to hit the
Okay.
snow. Your DC here is going to be 10.
Okay. I
want you to
make an
know he
attack for
rolled a
each-
6.
No. Okay, the first one hits. The second one hits. And the third one also hits.
Okay, so as you are sitting there, you light up your hands and fire these scorching rays out, and they spin around each other before landing and hitting the snow as the avalanche is coming down behind him. And he goes, "Fuck the fire! Shoot me!"
I turn back to the group with tears in my eyes. I go, he's going to make it.
I'm just
What?
like, who?
You have no idea what I have just been through. He's a good man.
How much of their like falling in dumbness can we all hear from the?
Oh
like,
my
can we
God,
hear them
it
being
is-
like,
it is- It is basically a Three Stooges film out there, but they have started to write themselves up at this point, as a couple of them are forming a ladder for people to climb up as one of them, and you hear the others mention a name as someone says, "Go on, take my arm," and someone goes, "Grab my hand, Arcadius," and they reach up and grab on and are pulling each other up this watchtower face.
I point at Arcadius and go, that one's the leader.
Got
They
it.
don't, but I will be fair, gang. I don't think these guys know anything.
Zir, would you like to get revenge with me?
What? How so?
I hold out my hand.
And I'll take his hand and be like, let's go.
I pull Xeris out the window, cast Featherfall on the both of us, and go spear first towards the ladder.
Okay, so you drop down. Can I have both of you give me
That's really
attacks?
hot. That's really hot.
A what?
Just straight attacks
Attack
with
rolls?
whatever weapon you're using.
Oh, attacks. I think you said
Yeah.
attacked. I was like, what tax?
Yeah, one tax, please. A
Does
tariff
Xeris
on your
get
house.
sneak attack? I'm ready.
One tax, please.
Xeris in this case would get sneak attack.
Do I get to use my multi-attack?
I think casting while falling is probably going to. You know what? For the sake of this, is you jumping in. Sure, I think you can use both of your attacks. I'll say that you probably cast Featherfall before you leap.
It's not good.
Okay.
I don't get any. Do I get any
You
sort
do
of?
have Bardic Inspiration. You can use that. A D6 added on to your attack roll.
Is it D6? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna do that because I just rolled a 2. Do I for what kind of attack was I? Does it just?
Whatever weapon you'd like to use.
Whatever. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna add. Okay, I'll use my rapier then.
Okay.
So then that'll be 8 plus whatever this gives me. 11.
Okay, that's gonna do it. All right. So what'd you get, Oliver?
I rolled a 17 and a 21.
Okay. I mean, this is a no-brainer. You were going off against act like buffoons. You jump down and begin cutting through them. They are panicking. They are fighting. They are screaming. This is chaos. Xeris, you pull out your rapier and then start cutting through these people as screams begin to fill the mountainside. Oliver, you leap down, your spear in your hand. You stab first down into one's chest cavity, pull it up, appear it back in your hand, and stab somebody else in the side of the jaw. You hear a crunch as their jaw goes. There's more screaming as a couple more people start panicking and trying to run from the chaos that is ensuing. 2 of them are going to make it off of the steps, jumping into the snow next to you. The rest are going to try and face off against you. Voxu, how are you helping here?
Okay, so they're in like a ladder formation up the side, not going on the stairs, or are they on the stairs?
Most of them are on the steps right now. Some of them have jumped off the steps and have landed in the snow. Avalanche is still coming down, mind you. This is all happening at the same time.
Okay. So, obviously my spike growth plan before didn't work. So,
you technically didn't cast it.
Because we forgot about it.
That's true. Do you want to cast it now?
I'm trying to decide if I want to throw it on the stairs, because Pepper's up with me, right? And then, yeah.
If you throw it on the stairs, Oliver and Xeris are going to be caught in the fire. My recommendation is tossing it below the stairs.
That's, yeah. So
stop people from running.
Yeah, so which direction are they running? They're
either
like
falling
out of the
off the
watchtower?
Yeah, they're either falling off the stairs, which are on the side of the watchtower going up, or they are trying to make their way down the steps. But going down the steps is difficult because of the caltrops and the ball bearings and the ice and snow in general.
Yes. So I'm going to throw it down at the bottom.
Okay, you
to catch any stragglers.
These vines start curling up out of the snow, and you hear screaming from below as the cultists who have fallen off are now suddenly caught in thick, spiky vines that begin entrapping and surrounding them. As they struggle to move, you can hear the screaming as they are trying to crawl their way out of this thorny nightmare. Xeris and Oliver, give me 2 more attacks from you guys. Also, what's your AC?
14.
Okay.
Mine's 8.
Yeah. God damn it, y'all.
Just for
24.
Okay.
Just for flavor.
Yeah.
Can I have one of the falling ones make a strength saving throw as I cast lightning lure to pull it back up so I can stab him?
Sure. Yeah. What he has to beat? Oh my god.
He only has to beat 14.
He got a 7.
So he
classic them.
And then I rolled a 24 to hit.
Okay.
So as he falls, I cast lightning lure, pull him back up, and just whah!
You stab through his chest,
him right
blood
through.
coughs out of his mouth and sprays across your face. More screaming from down
scream in his
below.
face, by the shaft!
Yeah!
2 more fall down into the thorn mess below and begin screaming again as they are being cut to ribbons.
Jesus.
A couple of them on the
Man, we're not supposed to be
staircase
screaming.
begin to resolve themselves as they are making their way up the staircase. It is in this moment that you hear Calcorin scream.
Yep.
Folks, we're running out of
You
time.
said not to do it.
Get to the top. Get to the top of the tower.
In the distance, you hear a sound echoing over the hills that is sending chills through your already cold flesh. It sounds like a storm heading in your direction, but the skies clearly aren't dark enough. A roar cuts through the wind. And then over the crest of a mountain, you can see a shape that cuts through a snowy ridge. The speed of the shape is astounding. Snow billowing up from behind it as it flies in low over the slopes. Buffeting its wings are like air claps of thunder. A red plume of fire is pouring out of its mouth as it approaches, darkening into smoke behind it. You hear the cultists begin to chant, "Children of Orcus! Children of Orcus! Children of Orcus!" And they are going to try to attack you too. Xeris, your AC was what, 14?
14.
That misses with a 10. Oliver, what was yours, 18? Fucking there we go.
18.
19. Okay, so you're going to get hit by a dagger is thrust out and stabs into you for 4 points of damage as you catch it right in the side. Calcorin is screaming, saying, "You have to hurry! We're running out of time!" The cultists begin to panic at this point.
I'm gonna slap Xeris on the chest and cast jump on him.
Okay.
Go.
This energy fills through you, Xeris, as you suddenly feel your legs have this springy energy to them.
Go.
What are you doing?
Oh, okay. You didn't explain it. You just said go.
Window. Jump. Go.
Got it. Jumping.
All right, so go ahead and
and
give
as
me an
soon as-
acrobatics
as
check
soon
with it.
as-
Give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check. 12.
12. Okay, gotcha. So you make your way, just a jumping motion, jumping off the steps, leaving a swirling cloud of snow behind you, and you make it all the way to the top of the watchtower. You land just in time to grab onto the like struts on top before you slip and hold on. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. You're gonna get aided here, so get advantage by Calcorin, who grabs onto your cloak.
17.
17. Okay, you are pulled up by Calcorin as he goes, "Where's the rest of you? Come on, please. It's getting closer." You look up
They're
as
coming.
the dragon sweeps low and unleashes a torrent of fire, melting the snow and blasting up a cloud of smashed rock. Imalar roars, this sound that echoes throughout the whole space, forcing all of you to grab onto your ears as suddenly this ringing pain cuts through them. Voxy, you're in the second floor. You're climbing up the stairs to get up to the top. Pepper, where are you right now?
Running to the top.
Okay, you're running as
Well,
fast
actually,
as you...
wait. Can I just I will lean out the window very quickly
Okay.
and go, "Oliver, get out of there!" And I will cast Shatter on the
Okay.
remaining cultists.
Okay.
Doing careful spell, so my boy Oliver's fine.
All right, there's this sudden, a loud ringing noise, this painfully intense sound that erupts in the area right near them. It's gonna make a Constitution saving throw for everybody. What do they have to beat? Motherfucker, they rolled a 5. What do you? I don't think they're gonna beat your thing. They
No,
are
they're
all
not. It's a 50.
blasted back by thunder damage as they go flying into the snow as the fire from the dragon's mouth hits the side of the watchtower. The whole watchtower begins to crumble and crack. Oliver, on the steps, what are you doing?
Casting jump on myself and going straight up.
Acrobatics check.
Right. Is it? Okay, never mind.
This is to land where you want to land. If anybody wants to help, now is the time to do it. Who's helping?
I can help.
You have
I'm
Voxy's
inspiration!
helping.
You have inspiration!
You have inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration's not gonna help this guy.
Voxy is helping, you get advantage.
I will help. I will help. What do I need to do?
I got it. That's a 9.
A 9. Okay, so you are grabbing onto
Does
the
it-
side of the ledge as you were
I mean,
slipping down.
I'll reach down and help.
Dexterity
Give
saving
me
throw,
help.
Xeris.
Helps.
Yeah.
Dexterity saving.
Yes, dexterity saving throw.
That is a 21.
Okay, so you grab onto Oliver's arm. He is not holding onto the ledge. He is down below the ledge as you are starting to slip.
Can I
Xeris.
reduce him so he's easier to grab? He's lighter?
Yes, you may. There is a sound as suddenly Oliver gets shrunk down to a tinier size and is pulled up onto
let
the
go.
rooftop. Xeris, you're
I
holding
release it as
on to
soon as he's
Oliver,
out.
and you
I'm gonna
bring
have a
him over
nightmare
to
about this later.
the center of the teleportation circle as the dragon spins round, coming back for another attack. There is a blast of fire and another scream from the dragon as the watchtower begins to crumble beneath your feet. Calcorin says, "Hold on," and he presses the button, and there's a sound that echoes out from your gauntlets. And as this happens, there is a sound as you are all pulled back, everyone closing their eyes at the exact right moment. The fire, the smoke, the chaos of everything that is happening all around you suddenly disappears, and there is a explosion as you arrive, and you are back where you need to be. At the Fellguard.
We were victorious.
I released it. You're fine.
Something's wrong.
No.
No.
You don't know how to release the spell.
What?
You are in Xeris' arms. Oliver's standing next to you.
Shut up.
Voxy, you drop Pepper. And you all look down and look at each other. You're not who you are anymore.
Did we just Freaky Friday this shit?
Did you just Scooby Doo us?
Did we just
Fucking
third
Freak
act of
Friday
Scooby-Doo this?
As you stare at yourselves, you think back to the chaos that just unfolded, the sheer amount of magic that just spread through your body. And you also think, oh fuck, I have a date in 1 hour. And folks, that is where we are going to end episode 3 of the Fellguard.
Oh my god.
Oh, you bastard.
My name has been Jordan
Wait.
Tries. Yeah, look at your screen and see who you are.
So
Oh my god!
Okay, everybody, let's do this.
Oh my god.
The next episode is going to be so great.
You make me feel insecure.
I'm really proud of us.
I'm just glad I don't have to go on a date. That's all I'm
Yep.
saying.
You and me both, buddy.
Oh man.
You're going.
All right.
You're going.
Xeris
Just-
would ruin that for sure.
Just like Oh Hey It's Devin has said in the chat, y'all have 1 week to work on these accents because you're gonna have to figure out who is who. Folks, I've been Jordan Tries. This has been the
my
Fellguard,
God.
and we will see you back next week. Don't go anywhere. Well, actually, no raid tonight, so go somewhere, I guess. If you'd like to see more of this, please give us a like or give us a follow if you'd like to see more. If you'd like to help subscribe, please. It does so much to help small streamers like ourselves. We love doing this, and we do this every single week. The Fellguard continues next week at 7 p.m. Same bat channel, same bat station. All right. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Goodbye.